I don't know what I'm doing. If it was good.
We're in.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Grant. Yes, here we are, live on Thursday on WebVM's Twitch channel. Here we are. I am from a different location, same room, different location. And I'm already feeling the better energy of the room. My back isn't to the door, so people can't sneak up on me. It's to a nice corner over here wall. There is a fairy door right here, but that's okay. The people that live in the attic are friendly, and we have an accord. So before we get started, how's everybody doing this week? Grant, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin James. I'm an American actor, comedian, screenwriter, and producer, best known for my role as Doug Heffernan on the CBS sitcom The King of Queens, for which I was nominated for a 2006 Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series. Take it away, Lindy. No, I don't know. I was just like, I guess my intro will be as Kevin James, because for whatever reason, his Wikipedia popped up. I'm doing really well. I'm happy to be back as Weirdest Dude and get all the sillies out of my system before we start streaming. Alas. I was actually adjusting your camera.
Excellent. That's excellent. And Lindy, how's it going?
Hi, I'm a cat. My name's Tesla. I'm doing so good, and I love attention. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing spiffy. I was convinced to go to the gym today somehow and did that. So I'm all pumped up, ready to play Ophelia, my adorable little cephaloid. Strong lady.
Oh,
loves tea.
Loves tea. And
it has a backstory that I kind of made up today that I'll send you.
Oh, yes. I'm eager to read it. And a name as well.
Yeah.
Which I am excited for, as up until now is just O.
Oh.
So,
that's all you need, Jim. As long as you get the O.
Exactly.
Wow.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of innuendo in this one because we are talking about the
O marks the spot. Never mind.
I'm not going to say anything else about the subject, but TK, how are you doing?
Trying to be level 435 and I can't, so I guess I'll play this game that I'm contractually obligated to enjoy. How are you guys doing? I'm a delightful time. Also was wondering who would sneak up on you in your house?
Yeah.
Child.
Trogdor. That's
Trogdor.
Listen, if I'm focused on something, I get scared easily. I startle. I have a bad reflex, and I am a fight in the fight or flight spectrum.
Yeah.
I just instinctively, and I don't.
Jim doesn't want to punch his
I
cat.
have seen you punch Prude in the face.
Yes.
Not only will I never forget that, but I will never let Pruitt forget that.
Pruitt did ask for it.
Pruitt will be 80 years old. He will be on his deathbed, and I will rush to his side to remind him of the time you punched him square in the face.
Is there footage of this?
Oh, yes.
Yes! Oh my god. I'm gonna send you something real quick, Anna.
Why haven't I seen this?
I'm gonna cut this intro real short because I gotta send Anna an important video.
Sure.
I'm having a great time.
Understand. Excellent. Anna, there's video footage of me hitting my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I too am fight in the fight or flight. And that's why, although I love horror and everything about movies and that kind of spectrum, I can't necessarily go to those scary haunted houses because I have to keep reminding myself, don't punch people, don't punch people. Because when I was younger, my cousin scared me with a mask and he wears glasses. So he put on a spooky mask and he put his reading and seeing glasses on. And I was super into my computer and he sneaks and he goes right next to me and I was super concentrated. And he's like, ah! And I was like, ah! And I broke his glasses. Yeah. So don't come at me. Just warning.
Yeah, no, if it's far away, I'll run. But if it's up on me and if I've got a curtain for me, I can't see it. Yeah, I feel you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But I'm good. Other than that, I had some dinner. It was delicious. And I hope you're all doing great. You're all wonderful people. You're all so talented and so freaking beautiful. Oh my God. My eyes.
And
I can't even.
it's a-
So much beauty.
Yeah, this is a real powerful moment for me too. Josh, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Jim. I'm preparing for the evening with some banana rum and got through doing character design. I really want to draw all those characters. Get some weird stuff going on. I love it. Also, almost the weekend. Okay.
Yes, persevere.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be all right. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And as for all of us, yes, the weekend is almost upon us, and really Thursday is the beginning of the weekend. You can coast through 8 hours on a Friday.
Yeah, nobody really pays attention.
Yeah,
that's why they like to fire you. Then
listen, it's not even 8; it's more like 6.5 if you take long breaks and get there.
I took tomorrow off.
Yeah, exactly. Take the we'll start a separate podcast. How to slow work your walk, or slow walk your work, and cut corners. But tonight we are playing a little Dungeons and Dragons. I think it'd be a great podcast idea. Listen, this is how you slack off at work and not get caught.
yeah.
Jim, when I was a software developer, I wrote a program that said compiling with a dot that would go 3 times, and I could leave it there for hours. If I didn't feel like working, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" "Well, I'm compiling."
I don't know, what do you want me to do? Mine was defragging, but here's to defrag the disk. Anyway, every day. This is good. We haven't even gotten started.
Couldn't think of an innuendo in time. Damn it.
That's all right. But before we get started with these aquatic adventures here in this poison, I'd like to thank Tabletop Loot, who has some choice new dice recently. They have got like some great colors and combinations, and they are sure to go quickly. So go and check them out and get a little discount on us, WebDM15. All that good stuff, because they send dice all over we joke around a lot, right? Like I just whatever comes out of the poisoned sewer that is my brain, but Tabletop, they just do great stuff. They send people dice who with like game clubs, things like that. So buying stuff from them supports their sort of efforts to expand the hobby, get new people the dice that they need, and get the whatever there. So check them out. All right, guys. So this is a DM confession time, because this is one of those moments where every time that I start a campaign, I make myself a to-do list of I want to have these things ready. This campaign in particular has been one of them has gotten done, and it's on about 20 different Post-it notes. So it's just one of those kind of moments. Nevertheless, we persevere. And go on. So I only say this to normally there's a little map or a primer or something like that to give you a bit of background to help you with your characters, and also any relevant information I think you should just know. But last week we had a bit of the last time we played, we had a bit of an introduction to this, the peoples of the Bay of Iridescence, these aquatic species that call this world their home, their new world, as it were. And there's some merriment was had in the Under the Tea house, which several of the party were able to just sort of meet for the first time, exchange stories, and sort of get to know each other and the lay of the land. And at some point, the pirate queen Bellet arrived in her sleek warship, the Empress of the Waves. And she arrived on sort of the plankway that they call a dock, with 2 of her crew, a Coalinth, who so far has just stayed in the boat that he arrived in, with his feathered coral and barnacle covered chitinous plates, this sort of an aquatic goblinoid. And the other was a water buffalo, sort of minotaur that looked sort of battle scarred and stern.
I love that idea.
Certainly. And Bellet herself was bared all the likenesses of the trollkin that live in the hills, several days journey inland. And so she's got this sort of dusty skin tones and dark hair that the rest of the troll can have, but is clearly at home on the water, and not any not a typical drylander, it seems. It was revealed that some of her Marines had mutinied and taken some of the treasure with them, and in the mutiny, which failed, ultimately escaped with one half of a map, which bore strange glyphs and symbols, and marks the location of a destination on some distant island. The other half of the map, at this point, I cannot remember if she revealed to you like where the other half was, or if anybody had asked her about it. So keep that in my back pocket for now. But you returned her half of the map, I believe Wirris did, and then she was sort of in a fit of excitement and sort of just like good luck, had an impromptu party there on the beach as the sun set. And so we'll pick up that next morning as sort of everybody begins to wake up, for whatever reason. But give me an idea, like where y'all spend the night. For those of you who are locals, do you have a place nearby, or do you stay in sort of one of the local dormitories? Like, what do you do, or do you just spend it with Bellet and her the crew that she brought ashore?
I think Myrtle would have partied hard, and made sure everybody got home safe and everybody partied safely. And then when it started dying down and everybody was kind of relaxed and she knew that everybody was safe, she would go back to her little cottage and just take a snooze. It's not very far.
Yeah.
Wirris would have marched about 300 yards out of town, pitched his small tent, and wept and prayed for forgiveness for nearly succumbing to the temptations of the town the night prior, and make a sacred and solemn vow that he will not partake of strong drink, not in the presence of friends, and that he will keep his thoughts pure. Pious.
I mean, there are some potent teas that...
he was deeply in love with a certain beautiful tusked pirate captain, but love is fleeting after drink.
Did anybody stay with Bellet and...
Yeah, Bella would have had to kick Calliope out. Finding a few friendly people, she partied the hardest.
Yeah, I mean, Bellet spends a great deal of the night just sort of, it's not like a huge party. It's more just they pass around this sort of bottle of something, and swap tales of crazy things that they've seen out there, or just sort of stories of some of the mutineers and how terrible they were as people, that kind of thing.
Well, and like Calliope is pretty sweet, but you get a few in her and she turns into Kesha, like music video Kesha.
Sure, right.
So that's always fun. So, what?
Like breaks the bottle and starts screaming at people type?
Oh no, just like totally is into it. Makes music if there's no music.
Covered in glitter, asleep in a bathtub. No, we know what you mean.
Where did the glitter come from?
Sure. There are
Where
a
did
few.
it come from, Calliope?
Where did it?
It's magic, actually. She generated her own glitter.
It's the Dazzler. There are people here in Old Saltmarsh that are clearly like what you might call fey kin or fey kith, right? Like they but what happens to a fey that loses its connection to the Feywild and has to like live in the world that it's in? They don't have necessarily a connection to the realm that you call home. But there are people who certainly appreciate the display, right? Like this is a land and place where all kinds of outrageous displays of colors and appendages and the like are regularly seen. Glitter's nothing. And Larimar stayed as well, yeah.
Yeah, Larimar's not really a drinker, but definitely so you do know something about these maps. Let's talk about this for as long as you're willing to, and maybe a couple hours past that.
Yeah, she's, at some point in the night, I mean, the drinking stops, and she sort of, is able to pay somewhat of attention. And in fact, after a little while, it doesn't seem like she's inebriated at all.
Larimar's just taking notes on everything, even the smallest, most ridiculous details.
Yeah. She has to just like continually drink in order to stay drunk. So if you want to talk like shop, she just like waits 30 minutes, and then it's like, okay.
And you mentioned a coral reef, and would you say that the pink of the coral reef was more of a blush or maybe a heliotrope?
No, it was more like gums, and she's like, points at her teeth and gums, like that color, or like less red, I suppose.
Gummy pink.
Yeah, and but
Limer's just like writing it down, just like
we were talking about something else earlier. How did we get to coral? And she, is starting to sober up and get some clarity back.
Too bad.
So these books that you have, or these glyphs here that on the map, I unfortunately don't have a translator.
That's all right. That's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
Is it? I mean, and she sort of like goes on and gives you this long-winded explanation about two people named Tiger and Seven, that she just sort of refers to them as if you should know them, kind of. And she seems to have a very low opinion of them. You're constantly, they've done their best, but they're not particularly studious, despite what they think of themselves. It would be, I think that perhaps we could come to an arrangement if you were to assist me in my endeavors.
Of course, we will pay you whatever you want. My companions are very capable.
Excellent.
Calliope is busy like rolling around between them, trying to get in their laps. Am I a companion?
What is it that you do?
Magic.
We already have a deck mage.
No. Don't have my magic.
Your magic.
Yeah. And she starts shooting fireworks into the air. Like loud fireworks.
What time is
is
it?
very scared.
It's like late. It's like late at
Middle
night.
of the night.
After midnight.
4 a.m.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but this place doesn't really slow down. It just sort of like a different crowd comes out.
Mhm.
So it's still kind of open.
Oh, okay.
Caffeinated tea time.
Mhm.
Yeah, Myrtle definitely went to bed.
Uh-huh.
Hard, snoozing.
Myrtle's out. Is Ophelia like?
Yeah.
We just sort of assumed you were working last week.
Yeah. She was. She probably worked her shift, went home, slept, and home for her is like there's like kind of this like a house that was once there, kind of caved in on the upper story, but the basement is submerged, like halfway submerged, and there's like a tiny gap, but she just kind of squeezes through to get inside and outside. It's a spacious basement.
Oh, that's nice.
It's just that you can't have any guests over.
Yeah, certainly not any with bones.
No, unless they're very tiny. Unless they're tiny, then they can fit. But she definitely just kind of like worked her shift, went home, worked out, and got some sleep because she wants to do a little fishing maybe in the early morning of the next day.
Okay.
Before she goes to work.
Yeah, about the only thing of note was everybody was sort of worried for a while about a pirate, a dry lander.
I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah, but it turns out it was fine. And
if it had been a problem, I would have handled it. I'm a folk hero. That's what I do.
Oh, well, that's true, exactly. But they didn't have to come get you.
Okay, yeah, I figured they would have if something like really bad had gone on. So instead, I just, I really can't miss another day of work.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh, it's tough balancing that folk hero and cost
work
of
life. Yeah.
So you're from around here, yeah, Ophelia?
I am. I've been here for like a year or two.
Okay.
Before that, I lived with my family's kind of tribe.
Sure. Most people around here are sort of nomadic or semi-nomadic anyway.
Yeah.
So you would know of Bellet, you know, one of several pirates. Most of them are sort of crazy. Most drylanders stay the hell away from here. And so the ones who do come down to sort of like raid on what trade does happen between the aquatic peoples for whatever reason, you know, they're sort of nuts. Bellet has a reputation for just being less of a crazy person and more just like driven.
Okay, I can respect that.
And
I do bring my trident to me when I go fishing, though, just in case.
Okay. Yeah, they were looking for someone had stolen something, but they found the person. And, they're staying to take on provisions for another day. So as that night, you know, progresses, Bellet's happy to stay and talk to Larimar for a good hour, 2 hours before she just kind of rather bluntly is like, I'm going to bed and, you know, we'll talk in the morning. She's especially interested in where you got, you know, your information that you know from. Yeah. She's just like, are you from around here? You know, she doesn't recognize, you know, she's like, I don't recognize you from any of my time here. You know, yeah, credentials is an important thing in this line of work, is it not? And so she's sort of like waiting on Larimar to sorry. So Bellet was basically asking Larimar like where he got the book, where they got the books from, and where they got their information that they do have from.
I found them.
Oh, she's very curious. Found them where? Like books, paper books? Oh, and they, you have them? Like she, you know, it looks, you know, you're not carrying anything, right?
I sure do.
I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but could I insight check you?
This is Dungeons and Dragons. You're free to do whatever you want.
Well, I'm gonna do it drunk, so disadvantage.
Okay.
Hey, check that out. I still got like a 14, no 15.
Okay, yeah, I like to lie when I roll my dice too. That's fine.
Hey, wow. I'll point the camera down. Let's do it.
No.
Rolled an 11 and a 13.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to insist on dice cams from here on forward.
Yep.
Roll 20 only. Do you think somebody would do that? They would just go on the internet and tell lies about their dice?
Oh my god.
No way.
Lying on the internet? That can never be a thing. That's illegal.
That's
I
a
used
novelty
to-
concept. I wonder why no one's tried it before.
Stop shattering my world. So, okay, is Larimar?
Our performance enhancing dice. We kidding?
My dice just
die.
roll better.
Roll nat 20s for more than 4 hours at a time, please.
Yeah.
Help.
Please see your DM.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I ate the last ice cream sandwich for breakfast today. I've got a lot
I'm
going
on all
on.
new meds, and thank God for prescription drugs.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah! You don't have to tell me
The
I'm from Kentucky.
magic.
Oh my god.
Boom.
Oh.
New perspective. So anyway, yeah, I forget where we were at. She wants to see the books, and is like, well, not necessarily in the middle of the night, but if you offer, then there's a good chance that she would. You know.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. Calliope with a 15 would know that Larimar does not have these books.
Okay, then Calliope is going to use minor illusion to start making pictures of books in the air and asking you over and over, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one?
No. Oh, that one's really close.
Mm-hmm, it's pretty. And then does it again and then again and again.
No.
She'll do
I
it.
just
She'll about 8 books and then she'll.
darn, none of these are the books. I'll just have to show you in the morning.
Okay. Thank you. Please do.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, after that exchange, you look over, and Bellet seems to have already, if not asleep, then she's good at faking being asleep. And Brutus, the Minotaur, he passed out on hours. He didn't drink either. We just like after dinner, just like laid down and went to sleep. I don't know if anybody stuck around to talk. I know Calliope had talked to the coral encrusted guy in the boat. But I don't know if you'd ever gone back to him. Anyway, most people, they don't seem to be worried about this, person here. And it seems as though some of the more respected members of the Saltmarsh community know who Bellet is and had come by and spoken to her earlier. So as the sun rises here on a new day, give me an idea of what it is your characters are setting out to do. And are you going to stick around in town? Are y'all just basically going to wait until the boat leaves? What's y'all's plan?
Myrtle's plan would be she wants to talk to that Minotaur person, if possible.
Brutus is the Minotaur's name. And he's happy to talk. He's just not very talkative. But you can find him at the camp.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah. Myrtle will kind of lift up her little claws and kind of stretch and like flip her hair that's actually just seaweed. Go to the other side. All right. Wipes her eyes and then just goes and tries to find him.
All right. So if y'all are looking around, you'll find them. It appears as though another someone, Bellet, is up already and talking to someone who is like on the shore. So that where they had camped was sort of like this big hill in the middle of town that sort of like guards the lagoon that used to be the Druid Grove, and they made camp just on the shore of that hill, which is really kind of the only dry ground in town. And she's sort of standing at that shoreline, and there is a massive. I try not to use modern descriptions of things, but I'll do my best for this. So there's clearly a person or a humanoid a metal person, whether it's statue of some kind is not clear, but it seems to be composed of a number of balls or spheres, and it moves in a very ungainly and sort of awkward manner. Its head sort of a giant, what appears to be like sort of corroded brass sphere. You're sort of staring at the back of it. Anybody who's there in camp get a better look at it, but I want to see what everybody's doing first before we resolve anything. So Myrtle's headed towards to find Brutus the Minotaur. How about Calliope? What are you doing during the morning?
Calliope woke up like an hour or two before sunrise, completely hungover, threw herself overboard, and has been kind of like half sleeping, half swimming underneath the boat.
Underneath Bellet's boat or just a boat?
Underneath Bellet's boat. We're close to it.
Okay, it's like 200 feet out into the bay.
That's no problem for her.
No problem. All right. So that's where Calliope is. How about Larimar?
I think Larimar woke up early because Larimar didn't really sleep, and is waiting like on the dock, like, let's go. I'm ready to go. We have to go. Where are the people who run this thing? Where are the people who live here? Do you work here?
Yeah, there's just a bunch of people walking around. Feel like, well, it's more like a co-op.
What time does the boat open?
Which boat?
This one.
Oh, that's
the ominous one.
Yeah, they point. Everybody points to the camp where you can see Bellet is. The rest.
Larimar will wait at the entrance of the camp.
All right. They're taking their sweet time then.
Okay, that's fine. I've got time.
How about Ophelia was up early fishing? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're already up and about then when somebody starts getting moving.
I obviously go spear fishing. I don't have like a fishing pole. I'm just standing there above a rock, waiting.
Oh yeah, fishing here is amazing.
How octopus are you, Ophelia?
I am octopus from like the waist hips down, so like a little like Ursula. Yeah,
I like it.
Do you have like hair on your head, or are you?
I've got hair. It's my whole skin is very mottled, and it kind of shifts color depending on my mood, or surroundings. If I get scared, need to blend in. Yeah.
Yeah, how many
And
in
my
the party?
hair kind of shifts slightly, but not as much, and I've got it kind of in like a mohawk with like shaved sides, like a fade almost.
Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna say, how many people in the party are actually bioluminescent? This is one of those questions, like how many are bioluminescent? How many don't have bones?
I don't have bones.
I don't think Ophelia. I don't know Larimar has bones.
Probably.
Maybe. You don't have to.
If I can find my seal skin, I've got whiskers.
There you go. So yeah, love the aquatic. And
Thanks,
yeah. So Ophelia's out fishing then, and then, how about Wyrus?
Okay, so Wyrus would be up just before sunrise, and would write a 3-line poem on a scrap of parchment, as he's prone to do, and he would tuck it under his shoulder pad. In his poem simply just says, kin, country, the gods. It's an expression. He tucks it under, and he has accepted the role as first mate on Bellet's ship. So what he would be doing is he'd be making sure that all cargo or all anything that they are transporting or loading is going to be ready and staged to be stowed. Likewise, what he would do is if there are any armaments of the ship, he'd be taking inventory of that. And he would be singing the whole time that he does this. He'd be like singing the sailor's pipe organ song where he'd be like, "Oh, sailor's life is a life for me. Oh, I love to sail over the bounding sea. And I never, ever, ever give a care about the weather, for the weather never, ever gives a care for me." And he'd be like, he'd be all into it, like, just like, this is his life now. Because his lady Myrtle said that this is his life now.
Yeah. So it looks as though, like, I think maybe this is one where, like, Ophelia's coming back from spearfishing, or it seems like there's a bunch, and everybody's sort of like on their way towards the docks, where it's maybe like a bunch of people from here seem to have joined up with one of these pirates, and I think aren't Myrtle and Ophelia like friends?
We know each other because you come by the tea shop a lot.
Okay, I was just trying to. It's been a while. I mean, even a week is a while. So anyway, let's go. We'll start with that because I think it sounds like everybody's itching to get on that boat. And Bellet finishes talking to this metal man, and they make their way over almost as Myrtle is like making you're making your way to them. They're sort of like headed towards you. And yeah, so Brutus, the Minotaur, this metallic man, and Bellet walking through the village, headed towards the docks. And Myrtle, you can talk to him now if you'd like.
Well, now that there's a metal man
Mhm.
in front of her, is anybody else seeing this, or am I still drunk?
I think Ophelia would probably be within earshot of that and be like, "Follow my finger." No, you're good. You're fine. You're not drunk.
Okay. What is it? Are they like really close that I can talk to them?
So if like you're aware of like basically Warforged, but it's also sort of like you don't. Most people around here, I know he's very sweet. He's very adorable.
Tell him you love him back.
I will. I just don't want to yell. And last time I did, I actually said his real name. And it's like he often will go berserk.
It's okay. I'll switch us to the loading screen, and you can do it. So we are no one. All right.
Damage.
But we'll pretend on stream that you're a good father. That I say now we're back on stream.
That I'm a good father. Not my ego.
You're a great father.
Wow.
Thank you.
Savage.
You're not stone-hearted like me.
Everybody knows you don't have kids.
I'm gonna
for your
need
benefit.
therapy for that. Anna,
Anyway.
I got that DM.
Warforged are known. It's just like most of the aquatic people around here just shun all of that business. That's for drylanders.
Mhm.
Like the sea provides everything you could ever want.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you know what they are, but like it's up to you how familiar you are with them as a thing.
Mhm.
He seems to have a very thick carapace.
Huh. I've never seen one up close.
Should we try to crack it open and see what is inside?
That could be a good idea.
You think
But
it is?
what if it steps on us?
We
could take the
stepped
risk,
on a
right?
lot. I have a lot of legs, and I kind of just
Yeah.
my
They grow back too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say hi.
All right. We'll start with hello. And what are your innards composed of? We can go to, just follow.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we make our way.
Yeah, you still meet them on the pier as they're walking towards where their boat is, and it's sort of actually it's as Bellet and the Minotaur get on the pier and start walking. It just continues through the water, and you can see it just walking straight out to the ship in the bay. It's just walking along the bottom. Water here is pretty almost entirely clear. There's very little murk or anything that reduces visibility, so you can see it. It's just no problem, just walking along the bottom.
Yeah, Jim, I'm swimming back just because I know I can grab tiny little things off the wall in the tea shop and eat it.
Yes.
I know those are safe to eat. Does this Warforged thing look like the fighters from Balls for the Super NES or the Genesis?
Ooh,
It's
I'm very familiar.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. It looks like an 1890s diving suit.
Okay, yeah.
It's covered in barnacles with the metal all corroded and everything. I just don't like using,
Of course, yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's got the almost. It's not like a Big Daddy from BioShock with all the stuff on it and everything, but it is big without a drill and a rebar.
Yeah.
It's its whole glass face front plate as well.
That's really cool.
There was nothing in it when you saw it. It looked empty.
Cool. Well, Calliope's going to say hi.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't appear to be able to talk, but if you do something friendly, it stops and waves.
She probably wouldn't assume that it could talk underwater anyway, so she'll just wave.
Okay. Yeah. You guys have no problem talking underwater.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't appear to have any kind of it literally looks like a bunch of metal balls stuck together, and that's sort of moved by a complicated series of joints, and it waves and points towards the anchor that's keeping the ship set, and shrugs and then continues walking. The rest of you on the pier, Bellet walks up and is, if you're sort of waiting for her, she almost inspects you as if you're a this is a proper military or something. Did you bring those books?
I certainly did.
Excellent. We'll have them sent. Slag will help you take points to the feathered coral guy.
Absolutely.
And he can help you get them on board safely. This looks like we've got maybe an extra or two. Good. This will do. Well, the terms that we agreed to last night still agreeable, I assume. She sort of looks expectantly.
Did you tell that to all of us?
Yeah, everybody who's sort of standing there, she just assumes that you're all sort of with Wyrus.
Ophelia kind of leans over to Myrtle and says, what is she talking about?
I think we might join her crew. I mean, it's been a pretty relaxing time back home, right?
It's been a while here. It's been very quiet.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be right back. I'm going to go. I just don't tell the tea shop. I'll tell them I'm sick. It's fine. I just want to go for work.
I'm sure they won't mind.
I'll say I'm having an inking problem.
I have a court.
And then, so she kind of goes off real quick to like grab her stuff from her house and tell the tea shop that she's having some ink issues.
She shows up with her luggage at the tea house.
I think
She's like, "Ugh, I'm sick. And they're like, is that a carry-on? She's like, to the doctor. I have to go see the doctor on another island.
Yeah.
It's a sleep study.
my inking problem. I need to go back to
Sure.
a specialist.
It's like, you're wearing a sundress and sun hat.
Yeah, look fashionable
Is
for the
that a
doctor.
beach towel?
Oh my god, the sundress.
Picnic basket?
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, she does that, and then she shows up
Yeah.
by Myrtle again. She's got her trident. She's got she's dressed up a little bit for the occasion. She has like a fishing net that she's converted into like a halter top, and it's got like little hooks all stuck in it where she can hang baubles and bits and trophies.
Oh yeah.
So
There you
she ready to go.
I also wear tank halter tops whenever I'm sick.
Helps you feel better.
Well, usually it's just nothing, but I decided, you know,
Yeah, I was gonna say I know we kind
I'm
of
proficient in net use, so
Net, but fashion.
I think we mentioned it a bit last time, but it's worth briefly sort of touching on again that sort of the equipment of this place has its own sort of material. They don't use any metal, for instance. Obviously, we just corrode and everything. If you're curious as to what sort of what equivalent they would be, I do have sort of I
figured it'd be probably like bone and like talon, like fish hooks and stuff, and like just a woven net.
There's that. There's a lot of like reed and rattan armors, like sort of like woven fiber.
Now, I will say my my trident is I don't know what material it's made out of, but it's carved and it's been passed down in my family.
Volcanic obsidian.
There are
Plastic.
like sort of quasi magical metals that are that are used for like special weapons and things like that. They don't corrode underwater, and you know, like Weirus's stuff's made of that. It's all gleaming and everything. But most
I'm
everything's
excited, so I'm like a shade of like coralish pink and yellows and oranges right now.
If you don't grow your own weapons, then chances are you use something made of bone, coral, or shell, something like that. And although there are highly specialized other kinds of armors and weapons that are out there, but they don't really sell anything like that here. And in fact, as Weirus inquires about that kind of thing, you know, you can see that there's this sort of squat-looking frog thing. It's not quite. It's sort of like someone described a frog to someone who'd never seen one, and then they made it out of like clay and then kind of mushed it. And so it's sort of just, it has sort of
I feel
odd
very called out with all my childhood artwork right now. You're a frog, Mom. Get out of my house.
Yeah. And so it's tall and slender and kind of like reverse hourglass shaped, you know, with sort of like, it's like wider at its head. And it also seems to be covered in a thick smear of this greenish translucent jelly that just sloughs off of it in clumps and then seems to just secrete out of its various pores. And he's constantly leaking it. It leaves puddles everywhere. But it's tiger and what is it that you want? I'm not, you know, we'll get a big drink of water.
So this is Tiger, as in Tiger in 7.
Yeah. What is it that you want? And he's, you know, you're the new first mate, right? Talking to Weirus.
I am the first mate of this vessel.
Well,
And I want this crew
Volunteer
to
first.
fall in line. I want us to be the best damn pirates the sea has ever seen. I want Captain Bellet to know that when she turns her back on us, we're not planning any shenanigans. We don't end up like the mutineers.
Yeah, well, most of them are probably just going to die of some disease out there in the bush, so that's fine. And he sort of like hawks up a thing.
Why would they die of disease?
Can't drink any water or any of that kind of thing. And there's all sorts of things out there. All freaked out about it. That's why the babies mutinied in the first place. And just sort of like it's clearly agitated now.
No, yeah. And I'm gonna get right into this. I mean, this is how I die. First level. I want you to know that where I stand, there shall be no disease. For I have been sent by the gods, and I am oath-bound to lead this voyage to its destination. I am called Paladin, and where I stand, disease is cured, for the gods will it.
Somebody told you too many fairy tales.
What's wrong with fairy tales?
And he just, like, are you gonna? Do we all have to worship the gods if you're first mate?
No.
Okay.
All that I ask is that we shirk no chores. We remain cheerful in every weather.
All right. And he's sort of like he's got that look of like, the new hires come on board full of energy and everything. It's the old grizzled veteran. It's like you all say this, and he turns his back around and is loading up a bunch of things, kicks a bunch of like sea monkeys off the crates or trying to break.
So all right. I want to make a devil's bargain with you.
All right.
Because this is, I definitely have a goal for this scene.
Yeah.
I want to inspire Tiger to make a change in his life today. He might be an old vet, but the new hires, they need old vets like him. He might be an old slouch and a grouch, but we could use this individual when we all get seasick and nearly die out there on the water. Because surely your random tables are going to make us roll that every 5 minutes. I retched again. Yes. Will you lose 2 more HP, Grant? Oh no, this is how I die.
I don't nickel and dime people. I'll just give you 50 damage. Okay, so he's turned his back to you and seems to be half-assing a job of like making sure like all these sea urchins and other things that can be,
we need to at least double his ass.
Yeah, he's just,
in this. Yeah.
Clearly not. He's not. His heart is certainly not in it.
Ass times 2.
Well,
double that ass.
Can I make either a persuasion check or I don't want to intimidate him, but this is one of those things where I think you catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Yeah. I mean, persuasion certainly seems to be the model that we're going for. Give me an idea of what your approach is.
Well, I am a holy knight, and I am, small in stature, youthful, but I am of the sea, and I'm an individual that's set apart from normals. I don't think he meets a holy knight every day, and I think what I need to do is I just need to connect with his heart and make sure his heart ends up in this, because when we're out there at sea, I need to trust Tiger. I need to know that he's going to do what's right. And there's other people that are going to put their trust in him. He really is a pillar of this voyage. He is the mast that carries the sails. And on a roll, I got a 21, because that's what paladins do.
Yeah. He kind of like, you're sort of like coming up to him in this inspirational manner and getting him to see like what he does is important, vital. He can't just, slack off like this or not take it seriously. A lot of people depend on him. And there's for a brief moment, there's just kind of like this, not necessarily like a turnaround, like oh my God, but certainly like you're right, yeah.
He can be a grouch, but I just need to know that when it goes down.
Bathtub, do I?
No.
All right. Okay.
Especially not in a storm.
No.
Especially not in a storm.
Oh, excuse me. Hey, I'm giving you a hard time, I suppose. It's tough. There's a lot of these mutineers. Listen, no offense to anybody around here, and who's, no one would. I don't know who would be offended, but who shouldn't have hired drylanders in the first place to be Marines. They're not cut out for the work. And just now he's just going on a huge jag about Drylanders. They suck and terrible and they puke all over the place. And but he's like also got some energy now. And
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, if
everything's
the scene goes on any longer, I'm going to sing him the song like Julie Andrews sang Kermit the Frog on the Muppets when you were a tadpole and I was a fish. And the whole world had barely begun. And, like, it's going to be this touching moment between us. But it doesn't have to be because I don't want the YouTube comments to be like, and then when that Grant Ellis son of a bitch said it was a touching moment, Jim should have said, no touching moment. You take 5 damage. So,
I did not know that that's how it works. Or didn't.
Yeah, well, you know, that's not as. So is everybody, everybody's getting on board the ship? Yeah, there's nobody looking to stick around.
Oh, I'm sneaking on board though because I called out sick out of work.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Calliope's been kind of sneaky too. I mean, one because she doesn't really know if her kind is like super welcome here, and two, she doesn't really have clothes. So she's like still like picking up nets and things to put over her head.
Sure.
But was also paying very close attention to handsomest boy Wyrus and his sweetheart, because if a Fae loves anything, it is a good romantic tale.
It's very true. Very true. Let's see real quick. So Calliope has been off for a while, and I just want to see what's going on real quick. And otherwise, we can kind of like skip to not skip necessarily skip. We can get all on the ship and see what it is that awaits you on the open sea. As you were sort of swimming around, you really there's all manner of creatures here. You've seen plant sort of like ambulatory plants that seem to intelligent and interacting with the others around here. The major division seems to be between those who have either some part of them is actual aquatic like a fish, and others that just are humanoid in shape and have aquatic features, gills or webbed, whatever. That seems to be the major division, but they all come in like a stunning variety of sizes, shapes, and she's from the coast, and she was part of the court of King Aelvis, and would see a lot of people come and go. So I mean, she's not completely freaked out by it, but it's the fact that she's like a pink skinned normal looking. There's
she looks like an Eladrin.
Yeah. There's people that draw, looks, but they're also used to a lot of weird things. So it's not like it's not scandalous or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that's sort of Calliope's swim. Everybody else is good to board the Empress of the Waves.
GTG.
All right.
On board.
Oh yes. So it is a sort of long, sleek galley, 2 banks of oars, and sort of like rides low in the water with like a gentle curve upwards. And the back of it is not an enclosed cabin; it's open air, but it is completely covered. So it's more like a pavilion than anything. Given the heat around here, it's probably necessary. The top of it is a full deck. So you can, all the rowers are beneath decks, and most of the crew and the Marines just sort of sleep in where they can on the top deck, sort of thinking style. And currently, it looks like there's about 10 or so tiny, or not tiny, I should say tiny, small frog people who are grappling up and down the rigging and getting it ready, helping the Warforged load the cargo up onto the ship, that kind of thing. But there could be a lot more people on board here. There's plenty of room, plenty of space.
Myrtle would probably help carry stuff and bring stuff on board.
Okay.
Make yourself useful. Get to know everybody, like what their favorite kind of tea is or dessert, etc. Small talk.
Merryweather, the Warforged, out of the water would talk, and sort of in a sort of a hollow voice. Thank you. That was very kind of you. And it's very polite and has sort of a weird kind of foreignish accent, but is appreciative of the help. Anybody else do anything in particular as you board?
Ophelia is fascinated by the sails in the rigging.
Mhm.
So she gonna climb up there.
I was gonna say, anybody? Is this y'all's first time on a ship?
Oh no, no.
Well,
It's
one that's been in the water.
First time.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I think
That'd be a lot of shit.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
For Myrtle.
I think Ophelia's been on the underside of ships before, but not very much on like the top side of ships.
Right.
It's like you hitchhike in the ocean. You just tentacles on, and then you just do whatever.
My
Yeah.
grandfather had a small vessel, but it was really more of a paddle boat that we would take into sort of these salty ponds where our people lived. I've never been on anything so large before. I've never been so far from home either.
The vessel itself is about 100 feet long and is it's two-masted, sort of like lanterne sails, triangular shaped sails, and it is clearly, I don't know, it's ostentatious. It's sort of painted in burgundy with gold and black trim. There's brocade velvet, sort of like awnings and hanging sort of like tapestries all over it. There's hardly any portion of the vessel that's not been worked in some way, either carved or painted or shaped or something. So it's a very just gaudy ship, but it also it sits low in the water and is quite narrow and has a sort of a massive prow and ram at the front of it.
Calliope would attempt to greet Ophelia and ask her if she could make her a net dress or something.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I could make you a net dress. We just have to get a net that is not in use, or some string. If you have a lot of string, we could just. I knit them pretty quickly. I have a lot of legs, which helps. So.
Yeah. No, you appear to have 8.
I do.
That's cool. By the way, have you seen you seen somebody carrying around a seal skin?
A seal skin? No, not a seal skin. Saw someone carrying out a drow skin the other day. So that was interesting.
Like a whole drow skin?
I have no idea how they did it. I was very intrigued, but they did not look terribly.
Probably carefully.
So,
Okay, well,
is that
cool.
or maybe they liquefied the insides and just like poked a hole in there and then just squeezed it out like a tube of toothpaste.
Nice.
That's gross, but yeah.
So,
I thought I saw 8 sometimes.
Raid! Sorry, 38 raiders. That's a lot.
oh hey,
What?
nice. You ready?
Hello.
There we
Perfect
go.
conversation.
Hello, welcome.
Hop in and
Right. So y'all are getting settled in on the ship. Bella sort of takes Wyrus and introduces him to Merryweather properly, the Warforged. Wyrus, this is our bosun assists. He assists 7 in the repairs and sort of directing of the deckhands. Learn what you can from him. He'll show you the ropes. And otherwise, she kind of like waits till she has the entire crew's attention, which at the moment consists of about maybe 10 frog people and then about half a dozen just random assortment of old, grizzled, salty dogs who just didn't mutiny or something. They all have fresh wounds, right? They've all got patched up, recently been patched up, and don't seem in a particularly pleasant mood. If you're just able to read the room. So she introduces Wyrus as we have a new first mate, this gallant and honorable knight from the sea has decided to join us and impart his great wisdom and discipline to us. And I hope that you will all agree that someone who understands the waters that we sail in was a welcome asset to the crew. And after that sort of short introduction, she heads back to the pavilion at the stern of the ship.
Jim, do I see the supposed ship's mage.
Yeah. You see Tiger and Seven chilling in like a bathtub, sort of midway between the prow and the first mast.
Is Tiger? Does he appear to be?
Tiger and Seven, they're both sort of like the misshapen frog people. Vodyanki is what they would call themselves.
I thought Seven was the Warforged. Never mind.
No, Merryweather is the Warforged. I'll send you. I'll type them.
That's fine.
Tiger and Seven, named by Trogdor himself.
Yes,
Love it.
An endless source of monster inspiration as well.
Yeah.
So they are two. They're actually remarkably similar to fake creatures that you're sort of familiar with.
Okay.
Frog type creatures that sort of
Like-
shit water and
Like maybe more on Sealy Court, or just kind of coastal dudes.
Maybe like a long time ago they were part of a court or something. They don't seem to have recognized you, or really, they don't look like Fae. They seem like gross and disgusting.
Myrtle wants to go in that hot tub.
Yeah, it's like the water is sort of like like we make an okra.
I've never made okra.
So so
It's real good.
there's a liquid in it that turns the water like really kind of goopy and snotty.
If you collect that, it's a great hair protein mask. Just FYI.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But
especially
yeah.
if you color your hair.
Interesting. And this is my natural hair color, so maybe I don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
The water's thick.
Myrtle was definitely thick, you
viscous.
say.
Yes.
Two C's?
Yeah.
Yeah, Myrtle's gonna go in. Like, she doesn't care. She's an old lady.
Okay.
That's a crab.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. She's gonna jump in. Is there room for me in there? And she's like already getting in there.
There's enough, but they seem OCD about their bathtub, and like, what is this? Did we agree to this in the contract? And two of them immediately start complaining to Bellet about it and get out of the tub. And,
Wait, don't. But
If they're not allowed to go complain to Bellet, they got to come to me first. I'm calling them out on that. You can't be.
Okay.
listen, honey's come back. Listen, if this is your bathtub,
Because Myrtle's like trying to get him.
I'm pulling them to the side. I'm like, hey.
All right. It's still some discipline than worse.
Okay. Get in that hot tub and enjoy it.
Listen, no, we did not agree.
Don't you
to share a hot
me?
tub
Get in that hot
with
tub and
our-
then go enjoy it. And I'm gonna single collar tie him, and I'm gonna muscle him into the hot tub, face first if I have to. Jeez, this is how I die.
You're gonna put hands on him?
Well, I have to.
Okay, all right.
This is pirate life. We're all
don't-
friends now.
don't be so.
Do you have to?
hurt them?
No, I'm not gonna hurt him. This is
It's
just
a
playful
grapple check.
wrestling.
Yeah, it's grapple check. Yeah.
Yeah, you kids, I never get.
So thank goodness it's a grapple check, because otherwise I might have done poorly. This is one of those where like Trogdor did their abilities, and they have like
at some point.
just give him the highest points. What's that? 100. Well, he has a strength of 100. Trogdor made him. So yeah. So I got a 21 on athletics.
I got a 19. And they're sort of like the water they were in is they're like gotten rid of a lot of their slime, so it's not as they're not as slippery. But you kind of like, this is 7. Tiger was like, he met him before. He didn't really mouth off to you or anything. You got him.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those things. I just came in home there, and I'm just gonna be like, look. You ain't gotta swim in the tub with Myrtle, but don't go harass the captain. Come to me, and I'll take care of it.
All right. Okay.
You're
gotta
good. You're a
use
good
your
one, and I
heart.
like you, and it's cool. It's just I sense this weird energy where you're being belligerent, and I don't think you are. But I'm just sensing it. I want you to know that.
He sort of like looks at you with his bug frog eyes. The rest of the crew is sort of like,
Yeah.
watch the whole scene. Myrtle, you're in the tub.
This has become a reality show.
This old lady just wanted to make friends, and then they're being jerks at her. Listen, if you guys don't want me in your tub, You just have to use your words, okay? And she like kind of snaps her little claws a little bit here and there. And this is how we communicate. This is how we become a team, okay? All right. Now, feel free to get back in your tub as she like gets out and kind of like shakes off whatever slimy stuff's on her. And I'll go make you guys some tea. Where's the kitchen?
We don't have it. We don't really have a kitchen or a cook for that matter.
We've been using the hot tub.
I kind of like octopus leg, just kind of like limb over limb, kind of just tumble down the rigging and like sails and stuff, and come down. I'm like hanging upside down by my legs, and I'm like, "You don't have a cook?"
No cook. The two of them are sort of chilling out in the tub.
I look at Myrtle. I just kind of shake my head, like, "What is wrong?" Like it's a good thing we came here.
The cook left. They left.
But there's no kitchen.
We have a. What do we got? And they said we have a boil crab that we caught. But
I'm sorry, what?
What?
I mean, it boils the water for us.
Okay.
They seem, satisfied with that answer, but no, they don't.
Show me the way. I want to go see.
All right.
Yes, me too. I enjoy cooking. I'm proficient in cook's utensils.
Oh, well, that's convenient. So they lead you down below decks.
I caught a bunch of fish this morning. I brought it with me because I wasn't going back to work. I wasn't going to leave it in my house to rot. So. Oh yeah,
if you talk about fishing, they'll spend hours talking about fishing with you. They love it. Down below decks, you see what passes for their kitchen, which is sort of like the area where they store everything, as well as a pot of water with a crab in it, and the water is boiling. You see that the crab's shell is searing hot. But you're sort of in this in a space that's separated from the rowers. So their section is sort of closed off and not connected to that. Other than that, the ship will be ready very soon to make way under power of oars. They don't have to wait for any particular wind or anything like that. They just get going. The crew pretty much knows what to do, and despite griping and a clear morale problem, they get things underway, everything's stowed, and you are shown basically where you can hang your hammock or throw your pile of gear and sleep on the deck. But good news is there's a whole lot of room. So you're not exactly sleeping on top of one another. Other than that, Bellet informs the crew that their first destination, as they make their way to a rendezvous with the pirate Nasher, is to stop by the Coalants, or further west along the shore, and resupply and rearm themselves. Currently, none of the ballista have any ammunition with which to use, and the two mangonels, which are a type of smaller catapult, only really there's only 5 shot left, and those are hollow to be filled with either incendiary or something else. So we need to rearm, and the mutineers took a lot of the weapons, and so you will talk to the aquatic goblinoids and hope to acquire some there. It's about a 5-day trip, but she expects it will be uneventful. Weather's nice this time of year, and you prepare yourselves to make way. So at the moment, you've been basically, the contract is that you are here to not just protect the crew, but also to train other Marines, and sort of like as they stop along the way, we'll be picking up other people to increase the ship to its full complement. Weirus is the first mate. If either Myrtle or Ophelia express interest in being a cook to Seven, he basically will just tell you should just do it, and no one will tell you to do anything.
Oh, I'm already like cooking.
Yeah, we're down there. We're already cooking.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Does the ship have a musician? It's essential with pirate ship. They got to play every day except the 10th day.
There's instruments, but they don't have
an appointed position. Is anyone proficient? I'd like to anoint you the ship musician. Calliope, you are our ship musician. It's essential.
Can I be the ship entertainer? That was my old job in courts.
Musician.
You sure?
It's entertainment, but you got to work every day. This is very important. I've played a number of pirate campaigns. You got to play every day except the final day, and it is a crime to harass you or do anything ill to you.
Oh,
you're
never
going to
mind.
keep our morales up.
I kind of want to be harassed. I'll do it. I'll do it for now.
For now.
All right, I will harass you.
Okay.
I like your whiskers,
I don't have them yet.
but I've seen
That's
you with
rude.
them.
That's really rude. I can't believe you said that.
I can, and then I just kind of storm up.
So
check to see if I have any.
How
Right.
dare you?
Calliope's been asking around about her skin.
Yeah, she asks most people. But
Mm.
she has people I'm passing conversation with.
Was there anybody else who had sort of like I know that Laramar has a sort of a need to figure out these glyphs that are these runes. But I couldn't remember from last time if there was anyone else that had like a.
So Laramar came on board the ship, and immediately, as soon as it like became possible to do so, made themselves scarce.
Where does Laramar go?
As close to the water as possible, so like as far down below deck as they
Okay.
can possibly get.
That's a bilge dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like there's a
So that's where like they're hiding out at. Number one,
Yep.
they don't want to be in the sun the whole time. Number two, they kind of don't want to do any work.
Mhm.
It feels like there's going to be some work required on this.
Definitely.
Checker. Checker.
You'll never find me, Dad. I'm sick.
Yeah, too sick. All right, so you can poke your head around. There's not that many places below decks. It seems as though there's only 3 rooms. There's the room where the rowers are, which is the big room, and then 2 smaller rooms, one of which serves as like a kitchen-ish area, and the other storage. And then there is like a space beneath that that you can crawl into. If you'd like.
Yeah, definitely the crawl space. They're like, gets their little gangly legs up in there, and it's just like, it's all right. We'll be there soon, and then I can get off here and probably make my escape.
Yes. It's within about an hour of heading westward. Bella is asking after Laramar, and it's like, we've got work to do. We start deciphering these glyphs and sort of going on and on about it. You can tell after spending just a little bit of time with her, Bella is a leads by sort of courage and bravado, and if it's not an exciting, daring sort of thing, she doesn't really spend a lot of time worrying about it. And so the ship kind of runs on inertia, and the crew just kind of knowing what to do. But she approaches Weirus and is asking after Laramar. Otherwise, we'll handle this using these handy rules from Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
All right, Jim, are you rolling on tables?
Here in just a minute, yeah.
This excites me.
Yeah. All right. So while traveling, the ship pretty much travels 24/7. The rowers, take some breaks, and the sails are sort of, set up so that they can, have that. But the rowers also seem to row for an uncommonly long amount of time, and the drums, which sort of keep them on rhythm, become sort of a constant background noise to life on the ship. Let's see. So there are certain things that you can do while traveling. Some of them are restricted to certain officers. Others are just sort of anybody can do that. And there are things like draw a map, which would require you to have, I think it requires you to have a proficiency in either cartographers or navigators tools. And depending on where you are traveling through, the difficulty of like creating a map.
I don't need a map.
Yeah.
I'm never lost.
Never lost ever.
Exactly where I am. I don't need to know where I'm going.
Then there is you can forage, which is basically fish.
Yeah.
raise morale, but you can only do that if you are the first mate, a bard, or and you can assist them if you have a musical proficiency. If there's neither one of those, then somebody, as long as somebody has a proficiency, that's what.
I would definitely do some morale.
Sure.
It's kind of why I'm here.
Yeah. The navigator can navigate. Anyone can attempt to notice threats. The bosun is in charge of repairs, and the captain is the only one who can attempt stealth with the craft. And then there's some special actions that the first mate, bosun, and captain have in combat related to moving and firing the weapons of the ship.
Surrender. I guess Grant uses a surrender action.
But currently the ship is slightly less than half of its full complement of crew. And so while the rowers can keep you moving and the deckhands can keep the sails intact, there's really no one here other than you guys to repel boarders and the like, other than a big minotaur, Bellet, and some other sort of like just random pirates.
I'll help with the cooking and foraging because I like fishing.
Okay.
But as soon as I'm done with the setting up the kitchen with Myrtle, I'm gonna explore all the nooks and crannies of the ship because if I gotta hide, I want to know where I need to hide.
Right. So you go down to anybody else like fully exploring the lower deck?
Like the bilge?
I think Meryl would.
Not necessarily the bilge, but like
I'll explore all of it.
Okay. So at some point, then you would discover that the rowers are skeletons, and that there are 2 of them per bench, and there are 2 banks of oars, and so there's about like 40 skeletons in there that are.
Does they react?
They don't react at all. If you go in when the drums are playing, which Brutus is the one who plays them, then they're rowing. Otherwise, they just sit there.
Neato.
I make a mental note to
Cool.
make them to knit them some outfits and stuff so we could tell them all apart and give them names.
Bananas, maybe.
Tellingly, for those of you who are from around these parts, you know that there's a certain type of magical disease which infests undead with a type of virulent micro vegetable and turns them from undead into living creatures. And these don't have the fungal and growths that those things. If you've ever seen the end of The Fountain, that Darren Aronofsky film where like the flowers come out of what's his name's Hugh Jackman's chest, it's kind of like that. So they did it because they didn't like undead. And so there's really not a whole lot of undead around here. And most of them that you find are actually plant creatures that have colonized the undead. That was that vine thing that Calliope saw. But it was
yeah.
So they don't have that. They don't have any of the growths or anything. They just seem like clean. Just there's no gore, viscera. They're just like
There's bones.
spotless bone automaton skeletons.
Yeah. Calliope would spend some time just like studying them very closely, particularly if they're not like noticing her.
Sure. There is some other members of the crew are Vidoc, which is a plucked avian. So he's like a kinku without any feathers. It seems to have covered himself in sort of bandages and a loose robe. These are old wounds. And he is followed by 2 other skeletons. In fact, he seems to be responsible for keeping the things running. Followed by a leaden skeleton. Skeleton with sort of like lead bands around it, named Ricardo, and a bejeweled skeleton named Montalban.
Yes. I like me that name.
And then finally, the last one of note is Slagfunk Snarp, who is a Colant who serves as the ship's scout, and he spends most of his time swimming ahead of the ship, and just sort of, it's the only aquatic creature on board. No hazards, so we'll see if give me just a second. I'll roll to see about any encounters, but so far we're good. So no fires, no other mutinies, no weird weather effects or rogue waves or any of that other business. So we go.
Is this plucked bird? Does he appear to be I mean, again, I'm asking like, is he a caster? What Calliope's looking for is like is this someone I can playfully challenge?
They definitely are skilled in magic and understand it, but you have not seen them cast a spell.
Okay.
All right. And so, yeah. Anybody else have anything that they want to do while traveling?
Besides make apple pies and make sure everybody's fed, and exploring the boat a bit, I think Myrtle's just gonna hang around and try to get to know everybody. Feel like a good grandma or mom. Grandmom.
That's awesome. So it's on the first day. You come across a group. Let's see here. And it is it's a what first looks like you mistake it maybe for a rock or something in the water. Afterwards, it's revealed to be basically just sort of like an enormous sea cow. Pretty common throughout here, but this one is about the size of, say, a humpback whale. So sort of like just this massive manatee-like creature that's sort of floating through this shallow sea. They are raised around here, sort of like herded in the same way that you'd herd terrestrial animals, but this one appears to be on its own. Otherwise, it looks like the first 3 days, other than seeing sort of like the local wildlife, nothing strange or outlandish happens. But as the sun is setting on that third day, we'll cross something a bit different, and that is just a second. And okay. So as you are, is anybody on watch? Anybody on lookout or anything like that? Anybody keeping an eye out?
I'm always keeping an eye out.
Only after I scour every single nook and cranny of the ship for hidey holes and stuff.
Yeah, you guys find that deck that Larimar was on eventually. Like, it doesn't, there's not that many places to hide.
Don't tell.
I don't even get a stealth check. This is garbage.
You can try. You can attempt.
No, it's
Stealth
fine.
check.
My stealth is garbage.
I'm just gonna squeeze in between the floorboards and just between decks and just ooze my way.
I think after like 2 days, you would hear Larimar's little tummy rumble.
I'll bring you food.
Oh my gosh, the best.
Yeah.
Larimar's just like, don't tell.
Have you ever seen an octopus find something it's not too sure what it is? So I just imagine like Ophelia was just crawling there. It's like, whoa, hey. Then like two good squeezes and then backs away. Then it's like, it's Larimar. Keeps going. Just.
I love a lot octopi. They're kind of cute because they're so like.
They're adorable.
They are.
They're the
I'm
cutest
100%
ocean
fearful
creatures.
of them.
My favorite. Cats and octopi are my favorite animals.
Well, and both of those things are smart. So
They're both adorable.
Octopi have underwater empires. I'm not going to get talking about this.
We're straight.
All right. So it's as you are, as the sun is setting, and Weirus can make me a perception.
17.
17. Anybody else who's on like the top deck?
Calliope's up there singing beach songs and looking for another sea cow because she wants to have a conversation with it now that
Thank you.
She knows they're there.
Yeah. You haven't seen any others that close since that first day.
Mm-hmm.
17 from Weirus. Anybody else?
Oh, I guess I
You
should.
said perception?
Yeah, perception.
I got a 7.
7.
16 actually.
16. All right. DC and this one was 13. There is sort of like lights reflected on the water, suggesting a ship, and it's sort of like trailing you. You're headed west, and it's maybe half a day behind, or maybe not. Sorry, not half a day.
The drunk Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough that you can see sort of the lights on it, but not so close that you can make out sort of the shape of it or anything. And Weirus, though, as you are watching it, you can see that there are creatures sort of flying to and from it, and that a group of them are flying in your direction.
Oh dear, they're probably going to drop fire on us, and that's the end of the campaign. Jim burns the ship down, then we have to go deep underwater.
Well, that worked for nothing.
All right.
Great game. It'll be a little bit. It'll be a couple minutes before they get here. They're far enough away, But
they're. I'm calling out. Look alive, crew. Agent, we got this.
What do you see? What do you see?
Boids. Dirty, filthy boids. They point at the creatures they're flying at us.
You know what? You don't trust flying things because you don't usually see flying things. Some of them are really nice.
I know stories of flying things that I don't have time to tell. In about 5 minutes' time, they will arrive.
Okay.
50 rounds.
Wow. Jeez. So serious.
Mm-hmm.
Serious Weirus.
Yeah, the other once you point it, do you point it out to anybody else, Weirus?
Yeah, I'm calling it out to the crew. Like they gotta know that they've this could be the end of us. Wow. Or I mean it's just a simple message like, hey, how are you doing? We're coming from port. Do you want to trade? Instead I'm just like, we only have 5 coconut catapult launchers left. Make
We're all
them count.
gonna die, and here's how.
Sure. Yeah, they seem to be. They're not like they don't freak out, but they take it seriously. You know, they assume their battle stations and wait and see what happens basically. But there's probably a handful of ranged weapons on board right now, and even less ammunition. Unless you guys have something you brought with you, there's really not any other.
I'm a ranged weapon, guys. So.
All right.
I have javelins.
They're close enough that you can tell that they are winged humanoids.
Okay.
I too have javelins and other stuff.
I'll come up to the deck at this point, hearing like a ruckus.
Am I able to make out like the shape of their heads or their faces?
I mean, Bella does a spyglass that they eventually bring out. So yes, the answer to that is yes. They appear to be beaked humanoids with feathery wings. Some of them have basically like 6 limbs, wings, and then a set of arms. But most of them have just wings with grasping talons on the end of them. Their feet are taloned as well, and they've got like blades and barbs and the like, both sort of trailing them that look like they could be used to just skip across the top of your head, or use their like talon feet to slash out at you. There's a group of 4 of them flying in like a ordered formation, and they are approaching you, but like they're keeping a good distance.
Can I climb up the mast? I want to be a pie.
Yeah, there's room up there for at least 2 people.
Cool. I just start. Oops.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I'm up there.
Anybody else?
And they look like they're heading straight for us.
Not straight for you. They look like they're headed in your general direction and are trying to keep their distance. They're not on an intercept course.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
If this were BSG.
Myrtle would just look.
Okay.
What would be like a maritime policy of like? Okay, I'm trying to think of it and I can't, and I'm wondering maybe
Sure.
maybe something Calliope knows.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Like a hail, like some kind of like hail, how's it going flag or something like that.
I mean, Skyright's a pretty good spell for that. People make.
I know. I kind of. Apparently, I'm a sorcerer, so maybe I can find me a wand or something.
There are spells of that nature. I mean, you could do something like that. I would say with like a silent image or something. Yeah.
Oh, silent image. Okay. I got 2 slots, Jim. Anyway.
Goodness.
I will make do with waiting. I wanted to do a minor.
They are also far away. Like they're at least 300 feet away. They are keeping distance because they. So anybody else, most everybody else now is sort of out on deck. They're sort of watching.
Yeah, just gonna stay on the mast and watch.
Yeah. After one, they get pretty close, about 200 feet away. And through the spyglass, Bellet is watching them, and she whispers something under her breath about being part of Herax's crew, which she does not take to be a pleasant or desirable thing.
Do you think they're spying on us?
I think they're spying on us, yes. I don't think they'll attack, but they'll probably follow us.
Should we change our course or?
No.
We need the weapons. We can't defend ourselves now if they attack or don't have everything we need. But they're checking to see if we're riding low in the water with a heavy cargo hold, or perhaps we have something of interest that they might like. And they'll probably follow us or stick with us for a few days, keep us company. She's sort of like, you see her sort of like in talking to almost no one in particular, and just kind of having a sort of a grim moment as she stares back off the stern at this ship that's trailing you. What do any of y'all do anything?
Where's we chime into? When traveling, for where's this traveled far, it's okay if there's other people traveling the same route or the same passageway. And we should be optimistic for if something were to happen on our vessel, we'd be able to call for distress and they would be there ready to help and ready to assist. I guess Jim saw OSR Grant in the chat. No, I'm not that person anymore. So we should keep a safe distance, keep an eye on them. However, we shouldn't necessarily assume that they are foes. They might be of use to us, and I'd prefer them to be allies than to be anchors.
Do pirates here parlay? Is that a thing?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Listen, like they're parlay because like fundamentally they want your stuff without having to work for it.
Of course, yeah.
So if you give it without a fight, then that's the best outcome for everybody.
Totally.
Yeah. So they are willing. Parlay, talk, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like bloodshed's a last resort in like in almost any case, because what if you get cut and you die at sea from infection? It's like,
Sure.
I don't want to do that.
So are you going to attempt to contact them?
Me? Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Can I use minor illusion to just pop up in the air like, hi, come here, just something like really.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Just like to make a
positive, yeah.
Smiley face.
Right.
maybe write R.
I see what you're saying. Something to draw there.
Don't give us away.
Minor illusion is, the range on it's pretty. It only creates like a 5-foot thing. It's only got a 30-foot range.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to have enough bang for your buck for what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there's nothing about what you're seeing through the spyglass where anybody's telling you that they would be interested in that. Like they seem like they're an armed patrol, is what they seem like they are.
Okay. Well, then there's not much we can do from here, I guess. So.
Okay.
Calliope would go back to trying to clean her warped wooden flute.
All right. In that case, they follow you and make lazy loping circles around your ship for the better part of the night, and they don't seem perturbed by when the clouds move over the moon or any other kind of obscurement. But by the morning, you've either lost the ship or they've lost you. You don't see the winged creatures anymore. You have, however, ran into a gigantic patch of luminous jellies, which are these bioluminescent jellyfish that have geometric and arcane patterns in their bioluminescence. Those of you who live here know that they are magic eaters, and that they are harmless so long as they don't think there's any magic around. So they, most people around here consider sort of vermin, but alchemists can use them for a variety of things. Otherwise, you'll sail through them. They can't come up on deck.
Oh, I definitely want to get some of these things. Jellyfish are delicious.
Okay.
Make jellyfish
help
soup
you.
tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So y'all, how do y'all catch
My
it?
tongue will glow for like a whole 3 days just after I eat these things. It'd be great.
Just like big nets over the side, or
Oh yeah, I just take off my net halter and I'm just
Uh-huh.
shake it out a bit, make sure everything's good, and then I just throw it in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a proficiency in that roll real quick. But
Sure.
it shouldn't be that big. They're jellyfish, and there's a bunch.
I'm also just proficient in survival. So.
Oh yeah, the survival would work as well.
All
Most
right.
of these you can usually do them 2 or 3 different ways.
14.
Yeah, that's plenty. Yeah, I mean, you get like a whole bunch, and the frog people, they eat it just fine. They're actually Magogol. They're sort of like local to the marshes around Saltmarsh, and not like evil, but they are sort of like these small, kind of just odd frog folk. They'll eat them, but none of the others seem to care for the jellyfish.
Oh, more for me.
Yeah.
I'm a growing girl. I need protein to support all these muscles. I'm so ripped.
There you go.
Muscles.
I'm all muscle. I don't have any bones, so I'm literally all muscle.
You are all muscle.
You're
Yeah.
cartilaginous.
Muscle cartilage. All muscle.
So your first the maiden voyage of your trip, largely uneventful. As you pass by, you stay within side of the coast. Excuse me. Let me just restart this. You stay within sight of the coast pretty much the entire trip. You never leave, sight of land, basically. And the vessel doesn't, if any of you are, say, proficient in water vehicles, then you would know that this is not necessarily a seaworthy vehicle, and needs to stick kind of close to the shore. But you pass by sort of shallow seas. There's a marsh that seems to extend for quite a ways. That's just sort of like this barren, treeless wetlands. And then it kicks back up to these sort of jungles of vividly colored vegetation. And you are approaching what appears to be a series of small rocky islands about a quarter mile off the coast. And this is the morning of later in the day of the morning you saw the jellyfish. And this is the settlement where they're going to do trade. You can get out here. Elliot thinks that it'll be at least a day. And if you wish, you can leave, but these places are not particularly, she sort of like is about to explain your home to you. She says, well, you know what it's like better than I do. So, and she walks off to go do business with the goblinoids there.
Goblinoids?
Coalinths are aquatic goblinoids. They're basically hobgoblins that gifted or grafted themselves a variety of aquatic traits in order to, for some unknown purpose. In this neck of the woods, they're not as many of them, but they do have that sort of bellicose reputation.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the sake of fresh food, because Calliope's used to eating like fish and mussels and close to shore, so she's going to jump off in the water and start looking for food, fresh food. But we'll also, of course, be drawn to the shore, so she'll be like lurking and munching like some kind of strange fairy creature. Yeah.
So you're in a real shallow sea here. Max depth at this point is probably like 20 feet at most.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it's these sort of like rocky islands that are jut up from the seafloor, and then the caves underneath them are where these coalinth live. So you're about like I said, 4 miles from the coast. You can swim there, or others, but they live in it. It's not like a terrestrial settlement where it's like close and compact with a wall. It's aquatic settlement's much more spread out, and it's more about hiding than like being big and strong and defensive. So
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of them are tucked away in quiet places. Here, I mean, if you want, you could go into further inland and see the swamps or the jungle, or you can stick around and do something else.
She'd have a snack, definitely, and is curious about the caves, but she's probably gonna like team up with one of the other people, just being naturally social, and see what they want to do.
Okay. How about the rest of y'all?
Yeah. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Is it too late to follow? What's her face?
Bellet?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I would kind of have her back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go off with Calliope.
So Calliope and Ophelia will go exploring.
She seems petite and fragile. I want to make sure she is okay.
Oh yeah, no, she is. Yeah, she's proud of it. But she's got like a rusty dagger that she's using to try to break open like the shells, and she's kind of like,
I'll help. I'll just
Oh my god, that you're so strong, but not strong, not Myrtle strong. So yeah.
Strong.
Okay.
Very hearty.
Okay, so go off to do some exploring. How about Wyrus and Larimar?
I was going to say, Wyrus needs to make sure someone's fed Larimar today.
Larimar wants to take this opportunity now that several of the crew have gone onto dry land to sneak into the captain's office.
Okay. Yeah, it's an open air kind of thing. You can sneak into it.
Yeah, wherever she keeps like her maps and books and things like that.
Yeah, there are several secure chests and that she keeps her effects in.
Yeah, Larimar is gonna try and go through that stuff as quickly and quietly as possible.
Okay, so give me a stealth, and if you have any way of opening locks, because
I sure don't.
So that's what happens. But give me the stealth.
Why did I click onto D&D Beyond as though it were actually Roll20?
How about Wyrus?
Slap me.
Well, I was looking for Larimar.
It's a 16 for my stealth.
Gotcha. Well, make me a perception check, Wyrus.
Question: does Larimar not want to be found by Wyrus?
Larimar would be happiest if they weren't found.
Okay, so Jim, I'm just gonna assume that I failed that, and it's just gonna be like one of those things. I went to like the spot with like a thing of broth, and it's just like Larimar must have wasted away, and just kind of like sulk over it, start riding the bow of Larimar.
Like mochi left in the sun.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to find Larimar while Larimar's up to stuff. I did roll a 21 to eventually find Larimar.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, eventually will here in a second. So we've got Calliope and Ophelia sort of like exploring the local
I heard there was some caves. Do you want to go into the caves? I said look pretty.
I do if you're coming with me.
Well, then let's go. I bet there's so many places.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So the two guys, Calliope and Ophelia started exploring these aquatic caves. As Larimar is attempting to go through the effects of the captain's things, and Myrtle is protecting said captain. Let's wrap up and finish up what Larimar was doing before we deal with anything else. So at 16, you think you're alone on the ship. Like the two Vodyanki, Seven and Tiger,
That's weird.
they're in their tub and they're like not paying attention to you at all. You think you're alone.
I like to think that Larimar did like the most ineffectual sort of. I imagine a lot of Larimar's personality is like Moss from IT Crowd. or like Stephen Merchant. So it's very much like, did you see that ludicrous display? It's just like, and then like walks off like, conversation had, I did it.
I am so excited by that comparison.
I know.
Oh my god.
I love Moss. Moss is my precious baby. And so like Larimar is like going through books, maps, looking specifically for anything that shares that glyph.
There are so there is a chest that's locked, and you can't find you can't find the map half or anything like that. But there is stuff left out on like a tray, keep it from rolling around and everything, and it includes like a captain's log and other things, and it's filled with entries that make reference to finding this Isle of Light, and that there's something there that Bellet seeks, in addition to just sort of like the generic treasures that would be there. There's some sort of seems to be some sort of power or something. She, just judging by the log entry, seems to know a lot about the history of this place and sort of its just environs. And as well as sort of like the legends around it. So there's a lot of like references to legends, but none of them seemed to have produced any useful leads for her except for this map. And then you get to entries that the latest one references you as a promising lead and one of the first people who'd ever recognized the symbols as well. And that was enough for her to bring you on board and see what it is that you know.
Dang it. Okay. No, well, that's not super helpful. That's fine. I'll write some things down, and I guess it just sort of stops here, and that's fine. I don't think that I'm gonna figure out too much more about this. Where do I get off this ship?
There's a board that actually right now people are just going directly into the water because
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go.
All right, Larimar departs. Myrtle.
I assume that's actually when Wyrus finds Larimar.
Yeah.
Like, one leg hiked over the rail of the ship.
Oops.
Hey!
But wait. So there is you're led down these twisting, water-filled passages underneath this rocky outcropping, and once you get past like the defensive perimeter of this place with its choke points and guard places and psychically reactive algae and things, you get into a series of large rooms which have these air pockets, which basically they're hobgoblins with shells and webbed feet and are covered in like barnacles and coral sort of. So they have this kind of like a goblinoidish face, but otherwise are green shelled, and they have the appearance and demeanor of like a military camp. Right, and Myrtle, I forget what your background is for Myrtle.
She's a fighter.
A fighter, and so you recognize that. You know them. Coalants fight all kinds of things. They just they're mercenaries and sort of warriors, but they also aren't like xenophobic or like hostile. Bellet is. Once they get into some air, they just start talking about all kinds of minutia of an arms deal, right? How many sheaves of arrows can they provide? Will they work with our bows? Can you make these kinds of barbs for our ballista? Things like that, and they will, but it seems as though it's going to be a long negotiating process.
I want to make sure that there's nobody around. It's not just her and me, right? Or is it?
No. There's a bunch of people in the room with you, but they're not necessarily like paying attention to you.
Yeah.
It's you and Brutus are the two from the crew that are with her. But there's all kinds of these colinth that are swimming around.
Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye out to make sure nobody is gonna like sneak up on us or anything, or do anything shady, etc., so on and so forth.
Uh-huh.
I want to keep my BBs protected at all costs,
Yeah.
but also kind of get a good deal.
Oh yeah. They don't seem like they like her that much, but they're nobody's hostile.
Yeah.
And they also sort of give the whole thing a wide berth. Once they see what's going on, most people not involved in it kind of keep their distance. Are you and you're sticking close to them? You don't like go mingling or anything like that?
Not yet.
Okay. In that case, Myrtle listens to the minutia of an arms deal conducted by pirates and the like. It seems like it's going okay.
Better.
For Calliope and Ophelia, do you just go into a random cave, or are you looking for something in particular?
Random cave.
Nice.
Looking for, I'm looking to discover things.
Yeah.
And you don't do that by eeny meeny. You just do that by eeny meeny miny mowing a cave. So
Yeah. You just go for it. You don't even worry about it.
no.
So,
Yeah,
I'm level
facts.
1. What do I have to worry about, Jim?
I know, right? Nothing. Like, there's absolutely no problem with it all. So, you go, and there is all kinds of caves around here. You have you're spoiled for choice, as it were, and picking a random one. You get down into the the twists and turns of it. It looks like it connects with others, that this whole sort of region is honeycombed with these sorts of caves. And you enter into a larger space, and in front of you is a creature about the size of a couch. Vivid, like sort of like cream and violet and red, and sprouting countless tendrils and feelers and the like. And it appears to be just sort of like with its mouth tentacles, grasping at something on the floor and like pulling it and bringing it back to an opening on one of its ends. You're not sure which is the front or the back.
Does it look potentially tasty? Does it smell tasty? I might have to put my tentacles all over it.
Sure.
That's how they smell.
Yeah.
Suckers.
So are you? So you're going over there to put your tentacles on it?
I'm going over there to put my tentacles on it.
Okay. How about
Are you food?
Calliope?
And I'll say, "Hello, that little thing."
Yeah, it doesn't seem to
How
be
are
bothered.
you
Like
today?
you touch it, nothing. It just is like eating some sort of something off the floor here. Of course, it's entirely submerged. It's just like the water here is kind of murky.
Calliope's gonna kind of come up to it and be like, "Hey, are you friendly? You kind of scare me. Are you friendly?"
So you're sitting there. The two of you are like, are you friendly? Trying to talk to this thing, and after a few minutes, you can hear sort of like reverberations through the water, shouting. Basically, it sounds like it's getting closer. Somebody's maybe coming this way.
Okay. Duck under to hear it better.
Okay.
And anticipate friendliness, which is Calliope's general MO.
I want to see what's on the floor that this thing's eating. Because if it's eating it, how does it taste? Does it taste all right?
It tastes like.
Did you lick it?
Yeah, it's edible. You could eat it.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see what this thing's eating. So I'm gonna, reach around with my tentacles in the bottom of this floor.
Yeah, it's eating like these sort of growths that are in the like microalgae, kind of basically, are in the cave here. As you are checking this out and Calliope's calling back, there's a response that's basically like, who's up there? Who's ahead of us? Halt! And within moments, 3 of the colons sort of swim into view, and they're armed with like nets and tridents and basically like, what, oh, must be
Hello.
with the ship, yes. And they point to the thing, and they're basically hunting that. If you could, we got out of its pin. Yeah, can we?
What is it? Does it taste good?
It's a slug. And they explain to you it's sort of just a magic eating slug. It filters out a whole bunch of poison, toxins, and things like that.
I'm really glad I kind of like dropped the thing that I was about to try that it was eating.
Your fork.
Yeah.
Right. So they sort of like stop and chit chat for a minute, right? Like they're not exactly like
What else there is in these caves? Is there anything exciting?
Just our home, basically.
Oh. We didn't know. We just saw it and we were curious.
No, that's no problem. So y'all came in with the ship.
Yeah.
And they just kind of like looking around to make sure there's nobody else swimming around or
It's just us.
Yeah. You know anything about lots of rumors going around about some sort of invasion on the shore.
I have not heard these rumors.
I guess you haven't.
What is?
Didn't see anything out there.
Question, sir. Is this scuttlebutt?
What? No. This is hearsay.
There is a difference. Okay. All right.
We saw some bird-like creatures, avians.
Harpies. Here?
A couple days ago.
Oh.
They were trailing the ship and then they disappeared.
Yeah, they basically want to like just exchange information. They really do seem concerned about some sort of invasion.
I want to know about that. That sounds bad.
A strange merfolk seen in the water. So.
Oh, not good. I see.
Strange merfolk look like me. Strange merfolk.
She looks like no. I don't. Kind of. Did someone take all your plates off?
Right. I'm kind of soft. I'm sorry. Okay.
Very squishy and not like I am.
Yeah, very squishy.
Emily's resilient.
It's really weird. I'm okay though. Thanks for asking. What do they look like?
Golden scaled and bearing metal weapons and armor.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, with intent to commit violence. Perhaps we should discuss this.
Keep an eye out for them. Haven't seen any though.
Okay. I mean, they're happy to sit and chat for as long as you like. This little community seems to be about 50-ish, maybe a little bit more of these covalent. You're staying here mostly through the night as cargo and ammunition and the like are loaded back on. You're free to kind of, like I said, come and go or explore the local sites if you like. But any particular thing that y'all want to do, or just ready to move on to the next one?
Ophelia definitely wants to give Calliope a hug with tentacles and see how Calliope tastes.
All right.
Not knowing exactly what you're doing unless you state it.
No,
loves
Ophelia
hugs.
definitely doesn't tell anyone that she can, has like a sense of taste through her tentacles, because people get weirded out by that. She told a few people and they got really weirded out, and so, but she's just really curious how everyone tastes.
No, yeah. Calliope loves
Rightfully
this.
so.
Right?
Don't lick me.
I'm not licking you. I'm just
Tasting.
touching you with my tentacles.
Calliope is she likes it. She's a very physical person.
God.
So she's down.
Just give you a big hug, and I'm like, oh, you were so squishy.
She's like, this is weird. I'm gonna end up on one of those tapestries. Never mind.
Yeah. Huh? So about the
nothing. Don't worry about it.
What's this tapestry?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I still have to make you a net dress. Let's see if we can get some net stuff. Some supplies here. I will make that for you.
Yeah, kind of swimming around in this gross water really makes me it just reminds me that
So I've got the filter feeder slug. It's fine.
Yeah.
I haven't died. I was born in this water.
Good.
That's what you need.
And she's
Definitely
got
what
8 legs, so.
She was born with 3.
The biggest news really is y'all's announcement that you were trailed by harpies several days prior, and that really does seem to like rile the group up. Rumors of these other invaders and harpies is too much for them, and everybody seems to be tut-tutting and expressing their opinion on just what should be done. And so for the time that you're there, it is sort of a buzz of activity and the like. But Bellet is, had informed you there was not a long stop. Yes, there's cats. Where are you guys at? And
That was me.
Yeah.
Ishtar's here.
Unless, sort of like press for to stay longer. Within a day, the Empress of the Waves is ready to move on and continue west. They hope to meet with Nasher. At this point, you realize that you're on your way to acquire the second half of this map. Just sort of like spending 5 days on board, just sort of small talk.
I definitely make Calliope a net dress.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm slightly warmer. Thank you.
Any last minute requests?
Is Laramar there?
Yeah, where's Laramar during all this?
Laramar is still there because we decided that Weirus did find Laramar before
Right.
Laramar could jump ship.
Yes.
Okay.
And Laramar was definitely like one leg over the railing, was like, I know that this looks bad.
Looks like exercise to me.
It is exercise.
Exercise?
It's something that I do regularly.
The key to lying to a paladin is not to lie, just to not tell the truth. Or not tell
I
a
haven't
lie.
taken my oaths yet. Might multi-class before then.
Yeah, I am
Laramar,
already regretting not going bard. But what do you
Laramar like slowly pulls their grasshopper
First
legs back over
Yeah.
the railing. It's just, I simply needed the fresh air.
Yes, you've been stowed away, so to speak, for so long now. You know what would help you feel a little better?
Food?
Yes, and swabbing. Come, swab these decks with me. Shirk no chore.
Yes. Yes.
Laramar goes to bed with so many little blisters.
Oh no!
It's splinters.
Well, here's what I imagine. I think your hands would blister, and I think I'd take my little paladin thumbs and be like, here, little 1 HP heal. Little 1 HP heal. It like stings a little too. Like,
Yeah, you all come back and like Weirus is like rubbing dirt in my blisters. It's just
Oh.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Laramar, I have a question.
No.
Okay.
Larimar's had a hard day.
I've never been told no. Okay, that's fine. Tomorrow.
Before we get back to the boat, what is the biggest shell I can find?
Are you gonna go hermit crab?
I mean, let's roll some dice.
What do you want me to roll? I got a whole set right here. It's
Three
actually using the
100.
set that was gifted to me by Josh.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yes.
Roll a
I mean,
D100. That's the square footage.
You gotta theme those dice.
I roll me just let's do D20.
D20.
Yeah, we basically call it like a survival check to like see where.
Okay, survival check. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll find a big old shell.
Yeah,
Survival +3, so that'll be a dirty 20.
you're looking for like a conch type shell, like one of those spiral ones that you could climb inside, or like a half of a shell. Like
I mean, either, but a conch would be ideal.
yeah.
I want to be able to like. What I want to do is I want to find a big enough conch shell to like squeeze inside and just sleep in it in the bilge deck. And so if anyone comes downstairs, they just see like a giant, like a big old conch shell, and then I can just explode out of it.
All right. I mean, there's a lot of them down here. Ones that are big enough to hold you are, let's see, probably going to be occupied by creatures that are, also as big. So you find something
Okay.
It's not, but I don't think it's a conch shell.
Okay. If it's like half a clamshell, it's fine because I can just hold it over me and then just like the top off.
Yeah, if you're like something like half a clam shell, that's what you got.
And it's just like sitting there in the bilge deck, like water kind of around it. And then if somebody comes in, I'm just like, hello.
Otherwise, we'll have to oust a resident.
No, I'm okay. I don't need to do that.
Maybe later we can fight a giant hermit crab and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a bad one.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, a naughty hermit crab.
Certainly. I don't know how you tell the difference, but yes.
Well, one's trying to attack you and the other one's trying to hide away because I love to eat
Get
crabs.
Myrtle to like ask each of them if they've been good.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say we should probably consult Myrtle before we start ousting crustaceans.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So I'll take a big old half a shell.
Uh-huh.
Half a clam shell.
Okay.
Ophelia and a half shell.
Yeah. Otherwise, this is a place to stock up on sort of weapons and the like. Most of the people around here trade in, I think, gone over sort of currency. They either trade in like imperfect pearls, gold pieces, or like bits of shell. So shell would be basically copper, imperfect pearls, something like silver, and then that's one of my cats falling off a piece of furniture. And then actual like gold coins because it.
Yeah, Calliope does have a few like Sylvan coins, which I can't imagine what those would look like. But I mean, she's gonna need a new flute and a new component pouch because those things are probably rotting away by now.
Yeah. Anything. They don't last very long. Yeah, the flute wood and component pouch. You're gonna need to. Find some of the more local ingredients that would be used. Spells that you know.
I'm gonna have to get somebody to help me make it.
Yeah, and I mean, both either Seven, Tiger, or the Doc could help you.
Okay.
What you need to cast your spells.
Okay. Well, I will make a parenthetical acquisition roll and see what I can find talking to people.
Cool. All right then. If nobody's going to purchase anything or go anywhere, then we will be off. Spell it.
I found my shell. I'm happy.
Sets course for this rendezvous. Now, this portion of the coast is lined with thick and swampy jungles. The depth of the ocean here gets even shallower, and there are some places where even Bellet is sort of nervous to take the ship, despite its shallow draft. So it seems to be a wild and unsettled place, and most of the shoreline around these parts is. Most of the settlements that are aquatic are much further out into the ocean, and those amphibious creatures who live tend to be tucked away in the hidden places of the jungle. Saltmarsh kind of stands out as a place where people sort of live on the coast and chill out. So you don't really see any other settlements, things like that. The ones that you do pass tends to be small islands or rocky cave or aquatic caves, that kind of thing. So you were in one of these shallow seas and the like when my train of thought went way off the rails. You are headed towards one of these shallow seas, which is where Nasher will meet you, and so it's about another 4 days before you get there. Same as before. Anybody do anything different during the trip?
We do a lot of one-arm pull-ups.
Yeah.
But I have to do so many of them because I have so many limbs. So it takes a whole afternoon.
Your whole workout routine is just it really takes up your day.
It does.
All right. So we are going to deal with our first hazard as on the second.
Yay!
Hey!
One of the watches ends. It is reported to Merryweather by one of the deckhands that there's an infestation in the lower decks, and it has gotten.
Oops.
See the severity. Oh,
Sorry, I didn't notice that. It's a shell. It's hard to see a lot.
you just couldn't help yourself. It is a fairly nasty looking infestation. A lot of the amphibious crew members have gotten sort of sick, and it appears as though some sort of parasite, has gotten into the sea anemone supply that you have been using as sort of the stock food item to pad out the meals, the starch of the sea floor, whatever. So, yeah, you're not sure what it is, but the water looks different. It smells, and they seem to even be behaving differently. So these hazards work like a group check, which, to refresh y'all's memory about group checks in 5th edition, you make the check as a team, everybody rolling, and as long as half of you or more succeed, the whole group succeeds. If less than half succeed, then the group check fails. These are designed so that they have grades of success, so that it's not just a binary pass-fail kind of thing. And the crew also gets a roll, which is a simple D20 plus plus a modifier that they have. So we've got a persistent bug infestation of some kind, causing sickness, lowering morale, that kind of thing.
Stop it out.
There are the types of checks that can be attempted in this, because not everybody has to use the same ability or skill in the group check. You can use ones that are appropriate to the situation, or creative use of your abilities. If you're familiar with 4th edition and the way skill challenges work there, it's similar to that, but not exactly the same. If you are the captain, the role, if you're an officer for one, you are required to make a certain role. There's not a lot of creativity there, and you have to make it unassisted, so no help action, things like that, although you can use magic to assist yourself. And so a captain has to make an intelligence water vehicles roll for this. The first mate must make a charisma persuasion roll. The surgeon has to make a medicine roll, and then the cook must make a constitution cook's utensils roll as part of the group check. And so the difficulty for this is 15, and I will roll for the crew.
Well, if it's a constitution cook's utensils check, I have a +5.
Okay.
So what about you, Myrtle? Should we do the cook's check? We want to assist each other as we are the cooks.
I got an 18 for persuasion.
18.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Oh, no. Come back off the floor.
I'm not sure what role.
I should roll my dice box. But
Mhm.
Ooh, 18.
18.
Can I roll history if I've heard about it, like in a book that I've read? Like heard about these parasites?
Yeah. So, okay, yeah. I guess something like that. So, like,
Thank
how you, how about,
Oh, I needed it too. I got a 15 on the dot because I get a +4 with history.
nice. So, how about for Calliope, Josh?
I mean,
You gotta help
You can always just
morale.
make a check. Like, the thing is, you don't have to have the exact.
Yeah, morale is low, so you could try to
Morale.
morale.
okay.
Yeah,
What would I need to roll for morale?
You can make persuasion or performance if you like.
Let's do performance.
You can use if you have like a musical instrument you'd rather use, you could use that instead of performance.
I mean, I've got a warped flute, so I'm gonna go with performance.
Yeah.
I'll sing them a song about feeling good, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry,
know what?
You're sick and you ate parasite.
What does a critical failure do for the group check?
Oh boy.
Well, it counts as a fail. It counts towards a failure, but as long as half the group has succeeded or more, which the crew did, the crew succeeded on their roll, and both Virus, Ophelia, and Larimar. So more than half passed. It's not a total success, but it is a success. As you guys spend the second day out, the entire day is spent dealing with this, and so the automaton rollers, they're going a slower pace because nobody's really paying attention to the direction you're headed in. And it's sort of like a top to bottom deal with this infestation. So that is a success. The hazard ends, but thankfully, morale is not further deteriorated as they all get sick and just sort of gripe. And you weathered the hazard.
Yeah. I'd like to think that I tried to sing a song in Sylvan about like everybody's happy and on the beach and they're feeling good. But instead it like translated kind of sounding like you're all gonna die and this is the end of the world or something like that.
It just doesn't translate well. Sure.
Yeah, it like literally doesn't translate well.
It's like a sea shanty that had started out as a dirge on the ocean.
Yeah.
And so like because they know the actual origins, they're like, really?
Yeah, like maybe there was some cross-planar moments. So like at one point this was a sad song, but by the time it came to the Feywild, it was kind of happy. Everybody loves their boils. They're really nice. Everybody loves them.
Everybody loves them, certainly. And all right. The only other thing that day, at least, as you're sort of like dealing with the rest of the infestation, it's a flight of drakes. Sort of they're like similar to say a wyvern, smaller. They're sort of like these four-limbed draconic type creatures. They are all over this place and come in a staggering amount of varieties. But these are sort of larger ones, and you can see that they're sort of like diving into the water and hunting and the like. So if you wanted to, you could hunt them, or otherwise they'll pass on by.
Do they look tasty?
I mean, they could be tasty.
I haven't had that yet, so yeah, I want to try them.
You'd like to try?
I'd like to try it, see what it tastes like.
Okay.
I mean,
that way I know if they flock over in the future, I know what they taste like.
Yeah. Just be careful. Sometimes dragons are like really smart.
Yeah. So they have a let's see real quick. They're not particularly, I mean, they're like medium creatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you express interest in hunting them, Brutus is always up for hunting, and they let two of the rowboats down from their attachments on the side of the galley and begin preparing them to go out there and them drakes.
Let's go. This is going to be fun. I hope they taste good.
Oh, it's great. You have a pluck.
Oh, is it? Oh,
and he's like, he hasn't said anything since you met him, and now he's just like super excited. He has a crossbow, which looks like it has a spool that attaches to a line.
I tried it.
They head out. Anybody else heading out to hunt some of these bad boys?
Unless there was something that would tempt her to stay on board, Calliope is absolutely going.
Yeah.
Same.
All right. How about Wirris and
I don't know why you even asked, Jim. You think Larimar is going to go outside?
Oh, come on, Larimar.
Like, I ask because
outside?
I hope that one day it'll be different.
There's knives. I saw them.
They are. There's like.
I have these blisters.
So that's a no.
Larimar is a soft baby.
Oh.
For Larimar. And how about Wirris?
Yeah, I'll follow along out there.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna be hugging onto this boat. I'm so excited to get to hunting these things. I'm gonna be like the bow, like what do you call it?
Prow.
Yeah, on the prow, just like with my tentacles all wrapped around. Like I've got like the trident out. I'm in the front. On the front of the ship, but on the
like you're what are the name of those things? The
I know.
ladies in the ships.
I know. I'm trying to think of the name. There's a name for it.
Figureheads.
Figureheads.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like a figurehead on it. 'Cause I'm just holding onto the boat with my legs. Like
Uh-huh.
around. I'm just in the front with my trident.
Yeah. Calliope joins you and does like a king of the world thing.
All right. So this is the first Titanic reference. I'm curious how many we're going to.
Well, there's gonna be more.
All right. So Larimar's staying on the ship. Everybody else is going. Brutus is headed out there along with Slag, who has a crossbow as well. And as you get there, you can see that they're diving into the water and coming back up with these giant sort of fish. And it's going to take a minute to get there, so you have some time to prepare if you'd like. All right. Anything you do to prepare yourself, or are you guys born ready?
I was born ready.
Yeah, let's do it. Yes,
Born
Josh.
to eat.
Calliope polishes her crystal.
Oh, is that
Mhm.
that sounds ominous, but
It's her arcane focus.
I'm gonna ready storm the blood blade of suffering, the crimson steel.
I'm possibly going to shoot something with a chaos bolt and see if I can roll fire so that we can cook it. I don't know what's going to happen if I roll psychic. I'm just apologize ahead of time.
Sure. So there is a
This tastes bad in my head.
they are in the process of
Its
sort of
brains will be
circling,
mush, but the meat will be fine.
circling, diving, and all the like. The idea here, as Brutus explained it when you were lowering in, is to just get them, make sure they don't sink, because they will. And then bring them up, and you guys approach within sort of range to begin firing at them and the like, and they are also sort of have noticed you and seem to be agitated. Not really any attempt or any chances for subtlety or the like, unless you use magic.
Ooh, I'm gonna blend in. I'm gonna camouflage with the boat so I look like I'm a real figurehead.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
They won't notice until. So I guess I'll roll a stealth check to see if they notice.
Yeah, give me a stealth check. All right, so anybody doing anything like ranged weapons, ranged attacks, or anything like that really far out?
Nope.
About how far out are they?
I mean, they were, a ways out before. It's the open ocean for the most part.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit. So no, not yet.
About how far?
What range are y'all looking to attack them at?
I can engage within 120 feet.
Okay.
Same.
I
Okay.
need to be kind of close because I
Yeah,
have my
same.
hand axe made out of shell.
Yeah.
I have a couple javelins, but I
Okay.
want to
That
wrestle
too.
these things.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, if you were looking for a range of 120 feet, you're within that range right now, but still outside of like thrown weapon range.
Well, 120 is the farthest I can throw.
I see. You're.
Damn.
I thought you were talking about some kind of spell or something. No, if you're looking to get within like close range of it, I mean, you'll be there just moments. I was more looking to see if anybody wanted to attack like far, like really far out.
Yeah,
like
and I can throw a javelin about as far as a wizard can shoot a spell. I'm strong.
are you going to attempt it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With disadvantage, I'd
It's-
get a dirty 20.
Damn. All right.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, I'm at long range. I'm going to have disadvantage. I was like, hey. Because I just want to be like, all right.
Yeah, their AC is 14. So Weirus launches a javelin at it from quite an impressive distance.
I'm
And
impressed. I have javelins too,
Yours-
but I just want to get hits. I want to be able to taste my food before I cook it. I want to taste it while it's
I like
still
that
I
commitment.
get 8 points of damage.
Appreciate that commitment. All right, 8 points damage. It sort of like hits it, and you can see it sort of sink beneath the waves for a minute, and then come sort of popping out, half sort of flying, but not particularly well. So not quite dead, but you seem to have really wounded it. That was Weirus's attack. Otherwise, they seeing that Brutus and Slag can't help but start firing with their crossbows, even though they were waiting to get closer.
I'm gonna wearily, because Calliope knows sometimes what's gonna happen. She's gonna like point her crystal at one of these guys, and just like a warbling, undulating chaos bolt is gonna shoot towards them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a to hit. I got a 19 to hit.
Yep.
So, do I need to roll on my table, Jim? Oh, right. On my wild magic table.
Yes. Right.
So I rolled a 4, so I don't technically have to use it, whatever it's called. Isn't that how that works?
I don't know, man. It's your character. Which one?
I'll
You're
figure it
talking
out.
about Tides of Fate, or are you talking about the? I thought
No.
you only got a table roll if you rolled like a 1 when casting a.
Suppose I think what it is every time you cast a spell of first level.
Non-canon.
No, it's weird. Once per turn, the DM can have you roll a d20 immediately after you cast. If you roll a 1, you have to roll on the wild search table.
Just assume you can do that every time.
Okay. Well, I didn't.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do. I think I said shit. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay. Did you hit with a chaos bolt?
I did. I got a 19.
Okay.
What's
Anybody else firing, or are y'all waiting for closer range?
Closer.
Yay. Okay. I randomly rolled fire, so yes, it's going to do fire damage.
Right. What do you got?
Total of 16.
16. All right. So the first two attacks, strike out. The creatures for their fast action basically are attempting to not fly away necessarily, but they're sort of like take to the air and circle back. They seem aggressive, right? Like they're draconic creatures, so they have that kind of combative spirit. They're sort of long and snake-ish, and seem to have a combination of both scales and feathers as well. Sort of like most of it's scaled, but towards the end of their tail, towards the end of the tips of their wings, they've got these vibrantly colored feathers. You can see that they have barbs on the end of their tails, which and a venom sac. Otherwise, they just have claws as they circle back around and make their way towards the two boats. So all I'm doing is moving. That's all they did. They are within throwing weapon distance. However, the speed and angle with which they are which they're coming, will impose disadvantage because they are deliberately trying to, make themselves harder to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I assume everything in combat is deliberately trying to make itself harder to hit.
More so.
No, I'm just giving you.
Well, like that movie, taking the dodge action or whatever.
Sure.
Calliope's gonna cast another spell, one of her homebrew cantrips.
Okay. We're doing slow actions right now, so I'm not sure if anybody.
Oh, right. Yeah, the initiative. Okay, so
or was like waiting, or like I was basically if like Myrtle or Ophelia who've been waiting with these weapons. They're within range of that. If you'd like to throw it, you can. Otherwise, we'll move on to the second round.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Stabby range, not throwing range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna throw?
No, I'm gonna wait.
Oh, you're gonna wait.
Stabby,
Okay.
not throwing.
All right. Okay. So no slow actions. Round 2. We'll start with the fast. Anybody who's doing just one thing, you can go.
Me. Calliope is.
Calliope.
I'm debating going down below and casting Fog Cloud to try to smoke Larimar out, but that would be mean. It'd just be, they're coming! Quick! Run!
Get it! Ah!
No, that's
Right.
Larimar. We gotta take care of them. They are a precious being. I'm gonna try another javelin toss. Am I at disadvantage?
Yes, they're sort of like coming in low and fast.
16 with disadvantage.
16 with disadvantage still hits.
Woo.
Yeah, that'll be 4 points.
Boom, boom.
Javelin-y damage.
All right. 4 points for that. I'm guessing just to whichever one, not anyone in particular.
No, it's just anyone. In fact, I'm hoping I can just start breaking them down and
Sure.
they'll wilt and surrender.
All right. So you hit one and it's sort of like knocks back as it is hit. but otherwise is still in the fight. Anybody else doing just the one thing?
Calliope is using Calliope's Effulgent Airburst, which is her firecracker spell.
Yeah.
So con save from at least one of them. I doubt they're 5 feet within one another.
They're not really within anywhere close to each other like that. Yeah.
So maybe targeting the one I hit before
Sure.
con save.
I got 7.
Okay, so take 4 thunder damage.
Okay.
That is just like a pop of fireworks in a 5-foot cube.
Okay, that one seems to have like spins out and crashes into the waves, and I mean it's sort of like they can kind of swim for brief periods. So it's not.
It's not out.
It's not out, but it is sort of like knocked down.
Nice.
All right. They are not taking fast action, so I'll go slow. Do Myrtle and Ophelia. They are like right up on y'all and are trying to like either pick you off or something.
The clash.
Yeah. So Jill's turn.
So Myrtle would kind of be like, oh, finally some action, and take out her not great axe, her hand axe. Yes, hand axe, made out of it kind of looks like her own shell, except way sharper because she sharpened it. And she's just gonna rush in and just try to whack whatever's in front of her. Ooh, that's a 23 to hit.
Yes, definitely.
And then 4 damage.
4 damage, yeah. So it's like you get one of them in passing as it kind of like flies by you.
Yeah.
It screeches out.
Oh, I feel so young again.
So they're like wheeling and flying around you as you're in these 2 rowboats on the ocean there. How about Ophelia?
I want to wait until one's like launched, just like gets right up in line. I'm gonna like spring off the boat and launch myself at it with my trident. At the same time, I'm getting real mad because I had to wait so long to strike these things. So I'm gonna be raging.
All right.
As I launch myself at.
Raging.
Yeah.
It's a rage hunt.
I took like shades of like red and orange. I'm just like, it's just like so angry.
Nice.
23.
23 hits.
I rolled a natural 18. So.
Nice.
Oh, for max damage. She was so angry. Oh, I have to add rage damage. Hold up. Plus 5. 13.
Oof. All right, so this one is the one that Weiris had hit earlier, so like moving a bit slower than the others, and it's as you launch yourself into it with your trident, you just sort of like take it down into the water, and its blood, clouds the
How's it taste?
It tastes delicious.
Oh,
It's succulent already.
I'm so ready.
So ready. I need to invest in that monster manuals. The joy of monster cooking.
I'm gonna eat so many things.
Oh yeah. All right. The 3 of them that are remaining wheel about, and you can see that they don't have the sort of hyper intelligence of dragons. These are definitely beasts, but they have a cunningness and they are working together to try to get you. So let's see here. Let's see. First one has not hit. So the as they fly around, 2 of them make attempts to like stab out with their tails as they're banking around the ships to attack you. 2 of them miss. 1 of them did hit, and see, it's going to be. It's actually Myrtle. 18 hits, Myrtle.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, it's the barb of it just like punches a neat little hole right into your armor. All right.
Your carapace.
Oh, it's going to be 3 piercing, and I need you to make a DC 11 Constitution save. That is the end of my turn.
Oh no!
No, what happened?
It's a 7.
No, that's
Oh.
Myrtle. All right, I think it should be fine. We'll see.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe not.
So you're poisoned for 1 hour,
Mm-hmm.
which is disadvantage on attacks and skill checks. I don't believe saves, but
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Myrtle takes
It
15
only hurts a little
poison
bit.
damage.
15 damage.
Wait, who does?
Myrtle takes 15
Does that
poison.
outright kill you?
Good lord!
I don't think it kills her, but
She's
she's unconscious.
The heck out.
First freaking level.
Oh my god. I miss being tanky.
Just got her. Myrtle seems to Myrtle goes down.
Oh, this is a
Which makes me even
Fun.
angrier.
I'm almost drunk. No.
I don't think it's enough to get you outright. But it is a lot as this thing
15 hit points of damage?
Yeah.
I have 12.
Yeah, you're unconscious, but you're not instant.
yeah, so you're
Oh,
unconscious.
yeah.
You would have
Being a little more dramatic. It's just like,
Now,
oh.
if you were a sorcerer,
that'd be different. Yeah, if you were Calliope would have
Mhm.
probably that would have been another RIP Blue.
oh,
Yeah, just really early on.
Okay, so all right. Top of round 3, Myrtle looks
Oh.
like you got tagged by a stinger, and
do I see that punk?
yeah, they're all flying around you trying to
Can
drive you
I-
off. To like,
Can I get that punk? I want to grab him.
yeah, 'cause you got tentacles and a trident.
I
You're gonna attempt to get him as they sort of swoop by.
Yeah.
So that's a slow action for that, but you can make the attempt. Anybody else doing a fast? For
Yeah, if possible. I'd like to do a lay on hands on Myrtle.
Okay.
1 HP. You're awake.
Yeah. Get back up.
Oh, what happened?
You fell asleep.
Oh, is it that time? Oh man.
I'll avenge you, Matsu!
Duck,
Avenge
octopus.
But,
Am I still poisoned?
Yes, you're still poisoned for the next hour. Yeah.
I can't
Is there-
neutralize it because I only have.
Because it takes 5.
Yeah.
Is there one? You said one of them, the one that I shot, fell in the water. Is it still in the water? Or did
Those were like skipped and then flew back up the way
Okay.
that you do. The only one that is down is the one that Ophelia tackled. But they're all, like I said, they're all within 30 feet of you. They're all within the close distance.
Yeah. Okay. Just real quick question, Jim. Just what would be your ruling if I like jumped in the water but stayed near the boat? Can I get like half cover or something?
Certainly. Yeah.
Well, then I'm gonna do a slow action because
Get
I'm
full
gonna like.
cover if you just hide under the boat, entirely, right?
Well, could I do that and then also make a spell attack?
In the sense that you could like cast a
Swim
spell
out.
and move.
Then-
Yeah. You could
yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do a slow attack.
Okay.
A slow action.
Okay. So Wirris has done his fast. They are moving and attacking, so they got slows as well. So it's y'all's turn.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm gonna do the thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna throw up another firework at the one that hit Myrtle.
Uh-huh.
So, con save, please.
Another con save. All right. There we go. 17 this time around.
Okay, so just enjoying the fireworks then, and I'm gonna hop in the water, keep a hand on the boat, and try to get some full cover because I won't get hit either.
Okay. Yeah.
You saw what happened to Myrtle, and you were like,
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I squishy.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna launch myself out of this one that hurt my friend.
Okay. Make me an athletics check for that, which kind of treat it like a grapple, I guess.
Yeah, well, I have advantage on grapple checks and athletics checks.
Okay. Right. Great.
Because I'm raging and just grappling. Good thing I have advantage with an athletics check. That's gonna be a 23.
Wait, you're a barbarian?
I am.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I have advantage to grapple
We'll be
because
fine.
tentacles, and I
We
have
got-
advantage on athletics in general.
A
Because
paladin,
Barbarian.
a fighter, and a barbarian.
Yes, we have a paladin, a fighter, and a barbarian. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So I rolled a 5 for my athletics, and that with my modifier, that's still an 8. So it is. Yeah.
I gaked it.
my
So you're
God.
trying to like pull it into the water with you, or like?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull
It's
it
not-
in.
Okay, I was gonna say it's not big enough to support you.
Suffer.
Okay.
It hurt Grandma.
All right.
Mhm.
I'll stab it to death next turn, but I'm gonna drag it like under the water, like so it, start drowning or whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
I have the
Yeah.
advantage of the water, I think. So
Then that's what begins to happen. Myrtle, you can act if you like.
Okay. Yes, tis nothing but a flesh wound. And I'm just gonna attack. Wait, did Calliope's baddie die already?
Oh, the one that I charred. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fully dead yet.
No, that one's not been taken out yet.
Can
No.
I attack that one?
Mhm.
Since the one that attacked me is underwater.
yeah,
Certainly.
yes, handled it. For you.
Oof. Or maybe that
AC
could.
14. They're
Nope.
not dodging right now, so it's no disadvantage.
That's a 9.
Oh no.
No, I'm just gonna sit this one out. I'm feeling a little.
Oh.
It's all right. You guys handle this. It's fine. You could do it.
All right, it is their turn, and this one underwater with Ophelia is upset, and while it cannot breathe, it there's something, the other two, however, might decide to bug out. I will tell you in just a moment.
Cowards.
Well, like two of them kind of been taken out. No, they stick around. All right, here we go. What is Ophelia's AC is
15.
15. All right, and it gets you with 2 claws as
Okay.
it just sort of like rakes.
That's fine.
That's fine. One for one's going to be for 4 damage, and the other is going to be for 7 damage.
So halved to 2 and 3.
Yep.
So 5 damage total. That's fine.
And you can see that the water is sort of like churned up as Ophelia and this thing fight each other, and the other ones wheel around. Let's see. One of them is going.
Calliope's getting a good look on Ophelia's melee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you get like front row tickets. You're under the boat,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
There's like, I like you, Ophelia.
Mhm.
Destroy him.
All right. The first one swoops by and makes an attempt to strike at Weirus, but misses. And the second one, 6 and a 4. So the second one attempts to strike out at Brutus, and this is Brutus. So 2 of them are still wheeling, although they look like they're doing more to keep their distance now. And where it's top of round 4, anybody taking a fast action?
Yeah, I
Oh.
will.
okay.
I'll try to javelin the nearest one.
Okay. It's still within close range.
Okay. Was it close enough for me to hit with the sword?
No.
Okay.
They are all out of melee, but still within close range.
17 to hit with javelin.
Javelin hits.
That'll do 5 points of piercing damage.
All right. Call it odds or evens, unless you want to
Evens.
specifically get the one with the or it is the one that Calliope had hit earlier.
Yay.
All right. That was how much damage?
5.
5 damage. All right. There we go. That one is still up, but is severely wounded. The other one is unwounded, and the fight with in the water continues. Anybody else taking a fast action?
I think Myrtle probably would.
Yep.
Maybe I could give this a try. And she takes out one of her javelin, also made out of a shell. She's gonna yeet it at
You.
whoever she sees. Oh, and that's a 10.
Oh.
Grandma.
Let me try something else. And as she looks inside her bag, you guys go ahead.
Oh, poor Myrtle. No.
Tell me she's got like a grandma bag, like one of
Yeah.
big.
Oh yeah, she has candy
Yeah.
in there too.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
The butterscotch kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calliope loves candy, not Sprite.
Caramels.
Yeah.
Werthers.
Slow actions for round 4. What's happening?
We're slinging it out in the water. I've got all my tentacles wrapped around it. I'm just gonna try it
Okay.
into it.
All right.
see, it's not advantage because of grapple, so
But
I'm just
you
gonna.
can reckless attack it
That's
first.
level 2. It's not level 1, at least.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah, but I do have rage at
freaking
least.
first level.
So
Sure,
that's-
sure,
yeah,
absolutely.
I think it still hits. Because I'm a plus
Basic
5. 16.
Yep.
Anybody who says first level D&D is their favorite.
Plus 10 points
It
of
would take crushing
damage.
damage after a while.
10
Don't you
points.
say anything, Grant?
Yeah. You start just stabbing them with your trident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
so-
like, stay underwater.
Gotcha.
Just
So
gonna-
because this is our first sort of underwater fight. You're
Yay.
using piercing damage from a muscle-powered weapon. You were at no penalty at all.
That's why I picked trident.
Yeah. So you're good. All right. This bloodbath continues here, but it appears as though the remaining 2 that are still flying are attempting to break off and are doing their sort of wheeling and dodging to make ranged combat difficult. They're about 60 feet away now, but appear to be flying directly away from you.
Are they together at all?
They're within 10 feet of each other,
Okay. All right.
and they are flying sort of in tandem.
Okay. And one of them was the one that's pretty hurt.
Real bad.
Yes, one of them is hurt very bad. Yeah.
All right. Calliope's going to swim to the other side of the boat, pop up, and throw some fireworks up there at that one. So con save.
All right. Oof, 10.
Okay. Take 4 thunder damage.
Yeah. So that one, the third one is then knocked out of the air, causing a splash as Calliope casts her spell.
Woo!
All right.
Beautiful.
I get to go. This is about the time of the evening when it starts to break down. It's going to attack.
Sorry, that was my dog.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, an 8 and a wait. Was I rolling a D8? It's like an 8. Okay, the 2. Jeez. All right. It does not hit. The one in the water does not hit Ophelia as its talons don't make connection. Top of round 5. There's only one left. It's in a grapple with Ophelia somewhere under the water, and anybody taking a fast action?
Myrtle is. She's
slow for
gonna
me.
take out a mace.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what kind of mace it would be, but she's like,
shell at the end.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Sure
so
rock.
she's instead of kind of actually getting
course.
it and like
That hurt.
going up and hitting.
Mhm.
She's like, oh, I have this thing, as if she's like looking for stuff. She's like, I have this thing. And she's just gonna throw it, like not even looking. Oh, that's a 24.
Nice. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool. And it's gonna be 5 damage.
all right.
I don't know. Maybe something else could work.
So something falls from the ocean, surface and hits this thing, and you eventually it stops struggling.
But I don't know. I might just save my weapons.
I'm
for
gonna swim out and grab the other one that kind of fell.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm just gonna because I have so many arms. I'm just gonna like hold one, hold another one, hold the third
Oh,
one,
yeah.
and just swim back.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have 10 arms?
No, well, yeah, technically because I got
Tentacles.
these two.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I forget what it's like. You get you can hold things with them.
I can use items in combat as a bonus action.
Right. Yeah.
Because I can be like, oh, I got so many of them. Why not?
Yeah. It's not like you can have like a Marlith with 10 weapons.
No, I can't use weapons with them. Is
No,
the only thing.
Well, you can hold them. You can
I can
swap
hold them. Yeah, I can hold and swap. I just can't use them. They're more dexterous and strong for grabbing, but not as much for like
You
swinging.
could open a jar.
Oh, if I ever get trapped inside a jar, I'm fine. I can just.
Yeah.
So I'd like, as we close here, I'd like to cut back to Larimar, and I'll give TK just a minute to prepare themselves. As Bellet sort of watches this whole thing going on, and it looks
Covered in blood and salt water. I'm like, ah, I'm just holding on to things.
She takes out like a seal, like an old sealskin wrapped lump of something. It's like this creased and weathered bit of leather, and in deep green, it looks sort of like a yes, in deep green stone of some kind with sort of like lighter green veins running through it, is a glyph of some kind that bears remarkable distinctions to yours, or sorry, remarkable similarities to yours. And she sets it on the table on deck. The Koalinth had this with them. I think our search is not in vain. We'll find the island.
I cannot wait.
Is something wrong?
Nope, I just look this way when I'm excited.
Great. I thought you might want to examine it. Perhaps it matches something that you've seen before.
Of course, I would love to. Larimar reaches for it.
Okay. As you reach for it, you are struck by a vision. You see both the token that you have flash before your mind's eye, the symbols on the map, symbols on a map that you haven't seen yet, another half of a map. And they just start to rapid fire these glyphs, and it's seemingly like a whole alphabet of hieroglyphic, or otherwise pictogram images, as you experience this otherworldly vision when you touch this stone. And I think that is where we're going to close, unless Larimar has a quick reaction to this.
Larimar stops for a moment and then immediately picks it up, wraps it very quickly in a handkerchief, and thank you very much. This has been most helpful.
Excellent. She turns back to watch the hunt. But good. I think it's a good place to leave off. A little excitement there at the end, but really appreciate everybody coming out and watching as we try out some of these new systems that they've created for D&D from Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Do a little sea crawl as our way to the mysterious island that you're headed towards. So yeah, great game, everybody. I love me some low-level D&D, and I'm glad that Myrtle is still alive.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Touching go.
I posted a pic of the damage on the Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. 663. That's rough.
But really appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us while we play some Dungeons and Dragons. Let's go around to our players, see what's up and going on with them. Josh, how is it going, brother?
It's going real good. I was as usual ADD and didn't hear. Was there something about a thing wrapped in a thing?
Yes, there was not anywhere near Calliope, but yeah, there was a stone wrapped in an old seal skin.
Oh, old. That's rude.
Yeah.
My name is Josh, and also Beer for Charity, and I had a lot of fun. And I finally am really happy to play a positive. Can't think of the adjective. Open and bursting. Effulgent, I guess. Anyway, you can find me online, where I am currently doing some character sketches for the party. I'm going to be working on everybody's portrait.
Nice little photos.
And Beard for Charity is my handle. Also follow me on Instagram, Beard for Charity. And yeah, feeling good, feeling great.
Excellent. And Anna, how about yourself?
Hello, I had a great time. I can't wait to throw more things out of my bag and cheat death because ouch.
Oh.
I was like, I have 12 HP. I should be fine. I was like, you're poisoned. Okay, that's fine. 15 damage. This is fine. Everything's
fine.
But yeah, I'm enjoying playing her, and I'll get more. I'm trying to get into like my Mexican mom,
Oh yeah.
grandma kind of mentality.
I'm waiting for
Take
the
care of
chunk.
everybody. Yeah,
Abuelita.
throw some chanclas. If,
Yeah.
I should get some.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
That'd be like my ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this character, and I'm doing story. So
Excellent. Thank you.
yes, but you can
Awesome.
find me places online as Cyborg Pizza on Twitch, and Anna B Photo on Twitter and Instagram.
Sweet. Excellent.
Oh wait,
Oh.
and tomorrow I'm gonna be playing on Bago Snails' channel, so twitch.tv/Bago Snails, and we're gonna do a D&D game. The Opera Geek's gonna be on there.
Mercy's gonna be on there.
Yes, and doop 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 doop. I just met them, so I don't know their names. I'm so sorry, but it's gonna be a D&D game, raising money to have an operation for Bag of Snails Doggo. So if you have like any extra cash that you can throw that way, Bag of Snails on Twitch, be there or be a square or just hang out. Any like dollar totally counts, and it's for doggos.
Come on.
So or a doggo.
Yeah.
So you know. Yeah. Also, hi, Scraticus. Thank you for the raid.
Thank you.
Woo!
Awesome. Yes, and dog surgery is crazy expensive. So
They are.
Yeah.
It's so expensive. Like with my doggo stuff, we went to TJ's. It's not that expensive, but
Yeah.
they're your doggos.
yeah.
Oh my
I'll
God.
link it in chat. Channel too.
And TK, how are you doing?
Jim, I'm stressed.
Why now? Like, I can understand why you'd be stressed living in the post-apocalyptic hellscape that's laying between two rivers, but this is a tropical paradise.
Is it, Jim? Because it feels like it
Kind of.
was designed specifically to stress us out.
Not
And it's working.
maybe.
I'm stressed, Jim.
all right.
Jim, I'm stressed. It's me, it's TK. I write spooky stories on the internet, and if you like spooky stories, then you can read them at tkjrides.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. I'm never going to update my website. I know that I've been saying that I will for like 6 months, but let's be honest, it's not going to happen. I'm not sorry. Like, you really knew what this was.
Wow.
If you like watching me play the Dungeons and the Dragons, then you can watch me play the Dungeons and the Dragons either here or on Twitch, like the D&D Twitch, or like on Don't Split the Podcast. Not next week though. We're not going to be playing next week. Yeah, that's it. Buy my book. Goodbye.
There you go. And Lindsay.
Yeah, that was fun. I got to rage, which was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong, do strong things. Octo rage, rage of many writhing limbs. Which was super fun. Can't wait to see more, explore more, get into trouble. Hopefully not die with my 15 max HP. Just not bad for level 1, but still, I'm still nervous. Nervous about it. But you can find me online being hopefully less nervous at Level of Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, where I play in and GM a lot of games. Mr. Ravenloft every Tuesday on my channel. If you like Critical Role, we've got Mondays in Exandria every Monday night, so check it out.
Sweet.
Also, Gex Convention. I'll be there tomorrow and Saturday for sure, so check it out.
Games.
And games. I'm gonna run D&D, so come play with me.
That's a lot of D&D.
It is.
Awesome. And Grant, how are you doing? Got a big weekend going up.
Yeah, I will be at Ghost Convention as well. I'm the tabletop event director there, where we've invited Marcy and Colin from the Phantom Roll Booth, Lindy and Michael from Lindy's channel, Castle Mac Steve and Lydia from Castle Mac, and all 7 cast members of Legends of Evantris. And we will be running Dungeons and Dragons set in Exandria, the Tal'Dorei campaign guide by Critical Role. And we've converted a lot of our favorite adventures to run in that setting. I'll be running adventures from the new D&D Essentials set, hashtag not sponsored, converted to Matthew's setting. And it should be a lot of fun. I'm the producer here at WebDM's Twitch channel. You can buy some Dungeons and Dragons materials that I've designed recently from 2C Gaming's website. They've released both the TPK Handbook Volume 2 and the TPK Bestiary. Those are on sale now. I designed monster groups and challenging encounters. The artwork is top-notch, and yeah, they're a company that pays really well to the designers and does a lot to take care of the artists. So definitely support them. It's good to see companies take care of designers in the industry. Back to you, Jim.
Awesome. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend as you deal with ending the work week. Get some rest. Get some chance to maybe play some D&D, and we will see you here on Tuesday for some Starward Bound, or sorry, not Starward Bound, Breath of the Fall, and then next week more Aquatic Adventures. So yeah, we will see you then, and you'll have a great weekend.
Okay.